Oh, hello, Invisigos and Invisigals. We are going to play things from the blood tonight, and we are going to try and complete everything. Everything will be answered. All of your questions,
Every
it will
question.
every question ever will be answered tonight as we play things from the flood. Uh, Sean, what's one thing that happened last time? And what does Lucas hope to
Let's.
resolve by the end of this session?
I don't know. I haven't decided. What's one thing that happened? We entered into the world of large frogs, large mosquitoes, large plants, and large things in general, and have made our way through the briar force field of this island to its tender principal house center. What does Lucas
Yes.
hope to resolve? Lucas, I think, has two options before him. A, he saves his brother from whatever the fuck is wrong with his brother. Or B, he ascends into the ether like his family was always meant to and becomes one with the building intelligence that is his brother.
Great.
So we can't decide which is Lucas's destiny, but one will
We
come
will
to
find
pass.
out. It maybe or maybe not. We'll see.
There
Uh,
are no third options, Sarah.
This
there's
is a
always
binary choice.
there's always a third option when I'm the GM. Okay, Logan, what's one thing that happened last session and what does Birdie hope to resolve?
Shucks. We met Borge, and he built us a device that makes us invisible to robots less than 10 feet away. And I think that is what we did before we went to the land of large mosquitoes. What does Birdie hope to accomplish? Well, I see two options. First option, we uncover why the principal is in his boxers in the middle of a swamp with giant bugs around him. Two, this is not an either or. This is a step one, step two. The second necessary option is we find Elizabeth and we lock her somewhere safely for the second time for real this time.
Is she lockable though?
Is she lockable? I don't know. Maybe we could send her back to Sweden. Not Sweden. Serbia.
She just arrives, like you send her away, and the next day you open the door and Elizabeth arrives on your doorstep. Hello, I'm in Sweden now.
No.
Abby,
Yeah.
what happened last time, and what do you hope? What does Mick hope to resolve?
I tracked an IP address from a spam email to the island of Bas Lagna, which we're now on. There's a massive briar. There's massive mosquitoes. I think there was a massive crab or something. I can't really remember though. Big
Frogs,
animals.
everything in the life
Oh,
cycle is
frogs.
massive.
Yep. And I sicked my owl on the giant mosquitoes so we don't get all our blood sucked out of our bodies, and that's all solid. What do I hope to resolve this session is to wrest full control of my undulating arm tattoo and become a superhero.
Okay, attainable goals all around.
So attainable. I love this for all of us. Okay, great. So you just left off. You fought your way through this psychedelic Alice in Wonderland nightmare. And you get to this dilapidated kind of what used to be a sheep farmer's cottage.
Goat
Um,
farmer?
Sheep farmer, unfortunately. Could go into goats in the future though. um, and you knock on the door and it just you see the door creak open and Principal Yarnick kind of stumbles in and he goes, "What are you guys doing here?" He's in his boxers and he is clearly holding an open bottle of vodka in his non-dominant hand.
Principal Yarnick? What are you doing here?
That's me. I used to be a principal.
Yes.
Yes. Also, where's your daughter?
And clothes.
Shh. I don't have a daughter. It's gonna be okay.
Your daughter Mia.
Yeah, shh. Don't let her hear. And he like grabs you and he like pulls you inside.
This is not a good look for you, Principal Yarnick.
You go in and you see that there are more empty bottles just all over the place. And it becomes clear to you that he was the one sending these emails. There's a big old computer set up, and it was misspellings all over the place because this man has been nothing but trashed for the last however many days.
Principal Yarnick, do you have to drink so that Elizabeth doesn't have control over you because of your shared tattoos? I understand.
Say no more.
He's like, huh? No, I just needed this is my liquid courage.
For what?
So that she doesn't find me. I ran away.
You don't need courage to hide.
Yes, you do. From her.
I'm gonna take an empty bottle, go fill it with water, and then I'm gonna try and discreetly exchange our bottles.
Okay, great. What do you want to roll?
I sneak. I should be
Yeah,
inclined to sneak.
that's fun. Let's sneak.
Can you?
Maybe. Can I use a bag of gems for this? I hit him with gems. Nope, it didn't want to do it.
Sure.
Oh, it did want to do it.
Oh.
You're gonna
I'll
let that
reroll.
lie?
No. Ugh. Garbage.
You were rolling 3 dice.
What are you doing? Why are you taking that? Are you
I
gonna
want
reroll
some
again?
of it. Am I allowed to reroll
No.
again? No.
You just look so shocked. I was like, "What's happening?" Yeah, he's like, "Oh, this is mine," and he like yanks it back, and he like stumbles backwards and falls into the dusty old couch that's behind him. And he's like, "You shouldn't be. You guys need to be at school. What are you doing here?"
We're looking for your daughter. Is she here?
Mia's fine. I left her in Denmark so she would be safe.
She's
Elizabeth
not in
took
Denmark,
her.
girl.
You don't know that she's safe.
No,
you could
she
be
was-
working for
she-
her.
Your ex-wife literally came here to look for her because Elizabeth kidnapped her out of your cabin in the woods.
Or
You're gonna
something.
have to roll something to convince him. Otherwise, he's too drunk to be.
I will convince him. I will use. I don't even. Would that be like lead him to the right answer, or maybe empathize with his
Charm.
inability to comprehend, or
You
charm?
could lead him. Okay, I think if you did lead, it would be like leading him to clear a condition. So you would be like leading him to like, okay, buddy, get some coffee in you, or like you'd be doing that kind of a thing instead of sneakily doing it. Or you could
I don't want him to be
empathize.
drunk, so I will lead him. Can I use my +3 from Mia's cabin information and give him the specifics of the cabin that he knows about
Sure.
that I found when I
What
was
specifics are you going to use?
I don't remember. I just investigated the place
Yeah.
of like when Mia was there. So I'd be like, the cabin that you have in the woods that looks like this, and Mia did this and this and this and this.
And it's here, and we went
Yeah.
there 3 times now.
A lot of times, buddy. Oh my god.
Great. How do you get him to sober up?
Yeah. Together, and then I hit the. No, this is me hitting the alcohol out of his hand.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Vodka
Maybe me
goes
just
flying.
doing it correct, not telling him the information he didn't want to believe, it sort of is sobering, and then he like gets it together.
What? You mean Mia's not there?
No, that's what we've been trying to tell you.
She was supposed to stay in Denmark. Why did you let her come here?
We didn't let her come here. She came here because she's her own woman.
Take responsibility for your own actions, okay? You left her behind.
Also, take responsibility
God, I
for
have
her
to find-
actions because she's a child.
He's like, well, I can't stay here. And he like is gonna start packing up and going.
Where are you
going?
going?
You can't leave yet.
Also, what is wrong with this island? And are you the cause?
How does this play out? Who do you all yell the different things at once, or do you feel?
Of
I
course
think-
we yell them
yeah.
all at once. I think Lucas like moves in front of the door at least, though.
As he's packing things, I'm taking them out of his suitcase.
He's like, I got to go. Why did you come here? And he'll just be like, everything's big because I made it that way,
Why?
so that I would be safe from Elizabeth.
You know what
Big
else he made
things-
big? Your predicament, buddy.
He's like, I know, I'm making it right. I'm going back.
Where?
I'm going back to the new Hephaestum. I'm going back to where Elizabeth is.
How?
In the back. I know how to get there. I was there before when
Are
I
you gonna
left Denmark.
swim there?
Well, don't worry. We've got a boat, but you have to take us with you.
He was like, how did I get here? I'm sure he
You
has his
rode
own
on the
boat.
back of a giant fish.
He rode on the back of a turtle. Yeah, he just is like, doesn't matter. Like, if you guys want to take me, that's fine. You know, I have to go back. I ran away so she wouldn't be able to find me anymore, and I wouldn't have to release the disease. But I guess I'll have to do that now.
What disease? You don't have to do anything.
Wait, this is a sharp left turn. We're not releasing any diseases.
You've already tried to do that once, sir, and it went
He succeeded.
very wrong.
But she doesn't care. He's like, I can't live with myself. I can't live with myself. I can't live like this anymore.
Okay.
I think you're thriving.
What disease?
Elizabeth, she came back and she found me.
Uh-huh.
I guess, like you said, it's the glowing neck tattoo. It's all there. She can find me there.
Yeah. You knew
Gotta get
this
rid of
when you
it.
got the tattoo. You chose this life.
But I didn't think she would come back. And he's basically muttering, and you get the sense from him talking that it becomes clear that he left Denmark. Like when Elizabeth arrived, she kind of called everybody to her via neck tattoo magic. And so Yarnik left Denmark and came back from like the force of that call. And from that, he was hoping he could just kind of like appease Elizabeth. But they had some sort of rift come between them, and he no longer wanted to like be involved in her shenanigans, which you get the sense was a new disease that she wanted to release upon the population, called the Gordian disease. And he didn't
Turns
finish
you into
it. Like,
pumpkins.
it's Gordian. Yeah, it turns you into a pumpkin if it's past midnight. And he he's like, it's not finished. She needs me to finish it. If I don't
Well,
finish it, nothing
don't.
will get done. I know, but if she has Mia, and right as he says that, if she has Mia on his computer, a beep sounds, and you see that there's a new email from Elizabeth.
Birdie, don't. I'll check his email. I'm the new secretary. Don't let him come over here.
I hold my bag of gems menacingly.
And as the email comes up, you see that it is a video of Mia, and that she is tied up and drugged
Perfect. I'll
in
close that.
a dark room.
Principal Yarnick, your daughter is fine.
Alive.
She just sent an email. She is doing well.
And she told us
Elizabeth
she wants you to not make that disease.
Yeah, this email that says, Dad, please don't release Elizabeth's disease. I've escaped her clutches and am safe now. Heart, your daughter.
Heart, that's a little weird. I don't know if Mia
It's like, it's not like, it's like the less than and then 3.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
It's hip. That's what all the kids are typing.
It's what.
These days.
Okay. Yeah. She's okay.
Yeah.
Is she with her mom?
No, because she doesn't want to be.
Where is she?
In
Sweden.
Denmark.
Denmark.
Serbia.
In Serbia.
She is
Would
in a
you
den.
believe it? The chess club showed up.
She's marked.
Okay, you're gonna have to convince him. He just got ready to go, and now
No problem.
you're gonna have to convince him to do what you want.
No problem.
Oh.
Ooh. All right.
Don't we
What's
need him
he-
to lead us to Elizabeth?
What?
Yes.
No.
What do you want him to do?
Why not?
We don't know where the new Hephaestus is.
Yeah, we do. Don't we have a map?
No, we don't have a map of the new Hephaestus. We just have a map of where like robots have been.
Okay, well,
And
you
where
have
entrances
a map
to the
of
VAC are.
Yeah, you have a map of like the perimeter of the VAC and like the dangers of the VAC and like where the robots are and stuff that Emmy observed, but she doesn't know where
well,
the
if
new
he knows
Hephaestus
where it is, then we can just get him to tell us where it is. It'll be
Yes, live in large Timbo.
Yes, thank you. Did Louise bring her gun?
I think you guys asked me this last time. I don't think Louise brought her gun.
God. Let's send her to get her gun, so if he starts to make the disease, we can stop him.
I have a hockey stick
Perfect.
Gun, hockey stick,
and
whatever.
hockey pucks, projectiles.
Okay.
Lethal force is near at hand. Okay, so you charmed him. What do you want it? What do you want the extra success to be?
He'll take risks to help us.
Okay. Great. So what? How do you charm him? Like, what?
I'm gonna tell him the lie of the email.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be like, yep, so she's fine, but, Elizabeth's still there, but she is really manipulative, and it seems like you're not in a good headspace to be interacting with that.
Well, why do you think I came here? So I wasn't interacting.
Yeah, exactly. So what you should do is tell us where the new Hephaestus is. We'll go check it out. We'll also check on Mia because she's escaped, and we'll just make sure she's in a good place. We'll come back, report back.
She's escaped where?
Escaped Denmark?
Okay, yep, that makes total sense.
Denmark was holding her prisoner.
You've charmed him. The vodka is still, now that he's not in panic, the vodka has slowly seeped back into his brain and he's a little bit more gullible than usual. And he's like, okay, I mean, if only I had a map. I mean, I can draw you a map. It's kind of hard to explain, but
Birdie?
she's in the VAC. Elizabeth's in the
Map.
VAC.
Lucas brings up the map.
Lucas has the map.
Gosh, wow.
Nick,
It's a pretty good
delete
map.
that email.
Such
Delete.
great cartography. Delete.
And then I'll go to the deleted
Block the
emails.
sender.
Why don't you trace the IP address?
She probably has a VPN.
Because she's a good villain. Unlike some people.
So rude.
I'll block and report the email address.
So meanwhile, while you guys are over whispering at the computer, he's like looking at this map and he's like, okay, yeah, okay. 6 robots, that's right. Okay. And it's so if you look over here, these 3 buildings together, they kind of make a triangle. It's there, and there's like a little bit of fence around it. I think it was like a storage. Used to be like a storage place.
So
for
it's
people to
above
store.
ground?
Yeah, the entrance is above ground, but there's a hatch. You'll have to go down through the hatch in the middle of the floor. And
Okay.
also, there's a thing that lives in the yard, so just be careful of that.
Wait, okay,
and,
back
Are we
up.
more? Can we be more
A
specific
little,
than a
just
thing?
a noun or an adjective or two.
No, I think thing it's alive. Thing is correct. Natasha was working on something to help guard the
no.
place.
Who?
PF
Natasha.
PF Liv.
Oh yeah, I think she did change her name to PF Liv. Natasha.
New official name.
She always did want a pen name.
Is this thing fetus related at all?
No,
Okay.
no, she's much better now. That was early days. She's much better at making things.
That
now.
was a couple months ago.
I know, but now she has a Neo-Hephaestum in Elizabeth.
What's a Neo-Hephaestum? Lucas only has one brother.
Can't be the real deal.
What is Lucas's brother? have
Can't
to
be
do
the
with it?
real deal without a
Elizabeth said she was going to
member
make
of the
her
family
own.
involved.
If she couldn't get the old Hephaestum back, she was going to make her own. So she's making her own.
Make a building.
You can't just make a building. That's not how buildings work.
You can't just make a transplanar building. That's for sure.
He's like, oh yeah, I mean, there is kind of the space beyond. That was tricky, but then we found a solution to that.
How long have you been here?
Now, Elizabeth has been through multiple dimensions in time. She came back with way more knowledge than any one person should have, plus a lot of rage. And so yeah, she's built herself a Neo-Hephaestum. It's not 100% operational yet, and
That's
the
good.
Futurum, the telescope, she's got a telescope that she's working on that'll really, once that's,
What is that supposed to do?
it's gonna
Look
help
at
her
things.
control the future. She didn't quite tell me how it was gonna work. I had to work on the disease.
What does the
What?
disease
Yeah.
do?
He was like, well, disease is maybe not the best term ever. It's kind of, it's like it's like an enhancement of something we found.
Where?
In the vac zone. And so I just kind of, took that and helped soup it up a little bit.
Oh, is it like this? I'll hold my arm.
Yeah!
Wow.
What is it with you and infecting your students with diseases?
Oh, it was already infecting people. I just made it a little bit better.
Why is that a good thing?
We're
not proud
it's a
of
good
this.
thing. He's like, I'm a scientist. It was interesting.
Okay, 2 questions, and you better answer these correctly.
Yeah.
What is a penguin?
Okay. He doesn't
Who?
know what a penguin is.
He doesn't know what a penguin is?
A penguin is a penguin.
Is your disease little black and dots in the water?
Yeah, that was part of it. We found the black fluid and we found the dots, and then we just made them a little bit better. They were already
What do you mean
kind of doing some
better?
sketchy stuff. Yeah, I just enlivened it a little bit.
Where did you find it? In the vac? Were they in the
In the
form of
water.
morphic shapeshifters called penguins that are extraplanar aliens and you put them in the public water supply, you weirdo?
He's like, that's actually not too far off from what He's like,
We have to
obviously.
learn how water treatment plants work just for you, mister. So
Or not, how they don't work.
How dare you?
He was like, no. So they were already in the water when we got there. And I just noticed them and kind of helped them do what they were already doing. I just made them.
Why would you want to help them?
I didn't want to help them. Elizabeth made me do it.
What do you mean? You're a strong, capable man who doesn't need
not
to
a
listen.
strong
Let's
man.
not get carried away.
I'm not a strong man, and she knows what I did. She could expose me.
You're a weak, pitiful man.
You're exposed. I gesture to him, near naked, drunk.
He goes like this, and he doesn't realize that he was in his boxers the whole time. It's like, she knows that I killed her. It
Who?
was me.
Lucas, get the hockey
Michaela.
stick. Oh.
I killed Michaela
Who's Michaela?
Tenenbaum, the one who wrote the article about us.
why did you? I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
Okay. 2 more questions. Why have you been harassing her daughter to investigate the death that you caused?
He's like, because I felt so bad. I couldn't live with myself anymore. I educated
And-
children, and I'm a
And then
murderer.
what would you do
Yeah.
if she was nearby with a questionable gun? We don't know if she has one or not.
Roll a d6 if Louise has a gun.
Schrodinger's gun.
Yes.
She's always armed.
You know that he would like wimp out and totally run for it.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, she's not here.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Well, I mean, I just felt so bad that I wanted her to investigate. I thought maybe she would be intrigued by her mother's unsolved death, and so she would be the one to maybe call attention to Elizabeth again and stop her before, everything happens that she's planned. And so that's why I started sending her the emails.
Okay.
And I ran away so Elizabeth couldn't use the disease anymore.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Because it's not
Thank
finished.
goodness she doesn't have Mia as leverage over me anymore. Because
Good thing.
I would go back
Yeah,
in a heartbeat.
good thing
Would
that
you?
that is not the case.
We never would have expected that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I guess.
Well,
I
thanks
can
for
hide
telling us
here.
where to go. Have a good rest of your life. Goodbye. Never leave this island, please.
Okay.
He's like, wait, take
there.
this with you.
Oh.
And
what
he
is
hands
it?
you squirt water bottles to get out. And he explains that the reason why everything's big is that he made a special fertilizer back in the day for an agricultural company, but it went wrong. So it makes everything big. But if you just spritz it with water, everything returns to normal size again. So you just need a...
What
Okay.
happens when it rains?
Hasn't rained in days.
Group huddle. We got some questions. Okay. Two concerns. We can't leave the psycho here alone and unattended because when he learns that Mia's captured, he's gonna run away. He just told us
Not gonna
that.
learn. I'll steal his computer. I'm good at that.
What if they use the internet and communicate?
I don't think they
I
can.
mean,
Ex-Principal Yarnick, can you talk to Elizabeth through your tattoo?
She can talk to me.
No, but that's not the other way.
No, one way.
But she can,
She's
she
number
can-
one.
She can tell you complete messages.
You get the sense that he's like, it's not really words. It's like a strong thought.
Well, don't be tricked when she tries to falsely blackmail you.
Mhm.
That sounds like something she would do.
She would.
Yeah, it does.
She would do that, wouldn't
Okay.
she?
Back together. What if we what if we were really large when we confronted Elizabeth, like super Swedish teenagers,
Uh-huh.
and we just like we have robots, we could just like
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
punch them, and then when we need to go, we take an ice bath and we're back to normal.
Yeah.
Hey, do you got any more of that fertilizer?
It's
Yeah, it's
safe
right
for
over
human
there.
consumption.
And you see like toxic symbols marked all over, like 2 barrels.
Any lasting consequences from like rolling around in that?
Roll a d6.
We got-
Nope.
Okay, we're gonna take some with us just for science.
Great. He's like, sure. I think I'm safe here now that Mia's not with Elizabeth,
Yep.
you know.
Yep, totally not.
And I'll just keep hitting the vodka. She'll never get a coherent
You
thought
hit
out
that
of me.
vodka.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Sounds good. I have the squirt bottle and I accidentally squirt his computer until it doesn't work anymore. Oh no! Maybe work on fixing this while we're gone.
Did we test this fertilizer before we go?
No, because then we're gonna not be able to be on the boat.
Yeah. But do you know who could fly above the boat? Quite large.
They'll see us coming from a mile away, but it won't matter.
We could
They'll
probably
say,
fly.
Are
There
those
was
children
n-
large
We
or are they
fly
really
on.
close?
We
There
don't
was
need a boat
nothing to be
anymore.
done.
The owls are
Okay.
coming.
We don't need the boat anymore. You're right. We just need your super intelligent and trained owl that knows to do everything on voice command.
Yeah, you will probably have to roll some
Not
owl
the
related
feral
skill.
animal we met 2 weeks ago.
You will need some owl related roll to make to use vibe with finesse.
Uh-huh.
But you can totally dunk vibe in the super grow potion.
How long does it take?
30 minutes
Oh, that's about
for full
reasonable.
potency.
That's a
Don't go
reasonable time
swimming.
frame. Yeah, okay, great. Perfect. These robots ain't gonna know what hit them.
Okay, so did you guys go? You squirt your way out and you go back to Louise.
Yeah.
She's
With some
smoking.
fertilizer, yeah.
She smoked at least 4 cigars while you were gone in her wheelchair, with shotgun over other shoulder.
Louise,
What'd you pick up there, kids?
How would you like a
school
giant
project.
cigar?
Giant cigar, huh?
Hey, do you have any like unresolved feelings about your mother's untimely death?
You know I do.
Oh, okay.
She was my only family.
Oh,
And I was so bereaved.
Well,
I
let's
worked
go
myself.
home.
well, that sucks. Okay.
Okay, cool. That's all you wanted to know. My personal traumas.
Never to be resolved.
Yeah.
Sorry, you'll have to live with that.
hmm
All right, that's fine. I wouldn't. I couldn't live with resolved trauma anyway. I'm meant to be hard burned and bitter.
Yeah.
You'd have to kick your cigar addiction, and that would just be totally ruin the brand.
Yeah, you're right.
Unless the murder brought you and this person together, and it turns out that's what you both needed in your lives. Him, a strong, independent woman. Her, someone she could boss around on the regular.
She's like, sounds like a trashy romance. Let's
Ah,
go.
My goodness.
Where am I taking you? Huh? Are we going back to my house?
No.
Where are we going? Where do you want Louise to drop you off?
Lay out the map.
Time to go to the
Lucas.
back. Yeah. Oh, Lucas pulls
Vaslagno
out
is
the
an
map.
island.
Yeah.
Well, can we get to the back entrance?
Of the back?
Yeah.
Isn't the back
Flooding?
in? Oh, yeah.
Partially
isn't it?
underwater.
Yeah. Hydrogen fire can't hurt us if we just boat
Roll
over
a
it.
d6,
If we're fast
Abby.
enough.
Can you
Okay.
take this boat to the vac? Nope.
No. We just need to get back to the main island, and then we can find another way in.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just take the longer way around.
Well, Louise, the speed demon that she is, gets you there in way less time than it should have taken. Birdie, you get less seasick this time around just because the pure speed is just cutting through waves.
Perfect.
And you make it back in record time. She drops you off and she's like, let me know how it goes. She'll sail off into the sunset unless you have anything else you want to do.
No. Hey, Lucas, you want to be really big?
Not right now. Shouldn't we try to sneak in first?
But if you're big enough, you can just punch the robots.
I'm pretty sneaky. Also, we have the really useful thing Borscht gave us to avoid robots.
Uh-huh. We certainly have.
The Invisigo radio. You could increase its effectiveness.
What if we made it bigger?
It's gotta increase the
Mm.
radius.
It's got
I like the way you think.
But then you have to be big enough to carry it.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
strong.
What if we just made your muscles bigger?
Just one arm.
Isn't that equivalent to
you
making
just
me
dip
bigger?
an arm in.
I mean, what are we gonna do when we get there, too? Also, I can't be big, or how am I gonna fit down into the
That's
Oh, we
true.
spray you with
underground?
water. We spray you.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
roll
yeah,
around
once
in the
we get
water.
there. Mhm.
Ice bath.
Ice bath. Okay, I guess if we have to.
I think this is the only option.
One of you
Great.
hold the map.
got
Direct
it.
me.
I
Got it.
will
Well,
say your
Also,
hockey
you have to make my
stick,
hockey stick big too.
your
can use
hockey
that
stick
tree.
won't be big, but
Look
you
at that
can
tree over there.
but you can use the
Up
bonus.
power pole. Any large object.
I mean, how big am I gonna get?
I'm thinking 50 feet tall. If a mosquito was the size of
A bird.
a bird,
Yeah.
that's a huge.
I might be too big. I might be too big.
At least 100-fold increase, if not way more.
Asphyxiating in the atmosphere.
Maybe we'll not put that much on you.
Just give me a little.
What are you guys gonna do? Or you can make 5 big.
That seems hazardous.
That seems hazardous.
Okay, well, who's got water? I need to be able to turn back.
You
There's
will
water
need
in the vac once we get
you
there.
will need water proportionate
But
to
it's
the amount
nasty
of
water.
Water that you
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 recently
need
found
proportionate water?
is probably you just realized that water is also probably infected with a mystery disease that was souped up by
I don't want that water.
your principal.
It will find. It might rain. Who knows?
This plan is getting worse and worse.
We have this water bottle.
Where's the water treatment plant? It's far away.
I don't know how much ground you can cover in a single stride. You might be able to get there.
I'm pretty fast, but once I'm not big, it'll be a problem. Also, the entire town will see giant Lucas striding across the countryside like the giants of yore. Truly living up to the Swedish giant
You really
name.
are living up to the Swedish giant name. Your last name this whole time has been Giantson. Okay. What do you guys want to do?
Make Lucas big.
Make Lucas big. If it doesn't solve
Lucas
all of our
wants to
problems,
sneak.
he might die.
You can sneak big.
Well, we
You
said it
can
has
sneak big.
no lasting effects, so you won't die from the
I'll just be big
fertilizer.
forever.
No
You will get
lasting
such a good
effects.
hockey scholarship if you could.
I'll
Could be
crush the
goalie with
rink
your
beneath
foot.
me. Okay, let's bigify Lucas. We
Go
cast
bigger.
enlarge.
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. Go
Big
Griffins.
We
Okay.
spray him up.
Spray them up. How you dunk them? You spray them?
Just a light spritz.
Just a light spritz.
Evenly cover the Lucas on all sides, and then let him marinate. Yeah. So you give him a light spritz. I won't make you roll for that. And you sit back, and nothing bad. You're not feeling any ill effects, Lucas, but you do just seem to expand at a rapid rate, and your friends just get smaller and smaller, and you are
Well.
now. I don't know how much more big you are. You are like the same proportion a mosquito to a bird would be. That is the same ratio.
That's terrifying. I don't want to.
You
Lucas!
are massive. Your foot is a house.
Oh, I elbow Mick and I say, now that is living large.
Your foot is a house. So your head is
I
in the
slowly
clouds.
crouched down to get closer
you
to
have
them.
to whisper or you will definitely.
I don't. Guys, I'm too big.
There's a cloud over there. Go like put your head in the cloud and get a little wet.
Lucas slowly stands back up and does that.
Your head and shoulders get smaller, but not the rest of your body.
He crouches down and he says, "That did not work good."
I mean, this is the important bits are still big. Aren't we right next to like the ocean? We just got off a boat.
I go, Doug, Louise Tenenbaum is like, what?
A tsunami overtakes her as you jump into the water.
She's pushed away. What size are you trying to achieve? I'm gonna make you roll a move just to like
Trying to achieve,
appropriately
like,
wash off enough so that you are the size you want to be.
max, like 50 feet, max.
All right, that sounds good. 50 feet.
That's
so
pretty big still.
That's
gotta wash
that's
off.
5 stories.
You gotta do just enough washing off and evenly, and that's gonna be a move.
I've been training for this my entire life.
I'm gonna say you're gonna need 2 successes. Otherwise, you're gonna be uneven.
Can I lead? Oh, okay. I don't want to lead him in.
I think I'm going to be uneven either way. It's just a matter of how much.
Oh my god.
All right, what are those bonuses you want? Tell me.
Oh, I impress the kids.
No one notices you.
Somehow no one notices me except Louise. I think, well, I just kind of want to wrap it into my move to get to the to get near the Neo Hephaestum number 2, if that's possible. So I like get some of the grab some of the water and quickly like sprinkle it over myself and then I splash a little on my feet because they didn't get enough water. But one foot's definitely bigger than the other. And I'm like, this is fine. It doesn't matter. And then I scoop up my friends and I plop them on each shoulder. And I say, let's go. And I boom, 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 boom. You're muted.
Is anybody directing him with the map?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I think we're sitting on his shoulders.
How do and you
Angel
just
Devil
whisper?
style.
You're like
in his
tugging
ear?
my ears to
Yeah.
direct and telling me things.
Okay, great. So I'll say that all those successes, you will get to the edge of the vac, right to where the perimeter of robots is starting, and like the perimeter because the vac is cordoned off. And like once you step into the vac, you'll be coming into contact with water, so you'll probably start to like have to be more careful about keeping your size. While you're big though, it's still dark outside. You can kind of see a few things happening, but you can consult her Emmy's map. You can kind of navigate. You can see like the direction where Principal Yarnick indicated that
Can
the
I
3 storage places would be.
see robots?
Roll a d6.
Oops.
Yes. I'll say
I
that
turn
you
into a living siege engine and I start catapulting rocks at robots.
I'm gonna say that you can see like 3 out of the 6. Like
That's
I'll say
good.
that they're evenly spread out, and you see like the half that is on this half of the perimeter.
I
Okay.
maybe set my friends down for this one.
Okay.
Mhm.
Roll force,
I would
and you're
love
gonna
to.
need 2 successes because they are war bots, so they're uh, difficult.
Can I lead him? Oh,
Oh, I already rolled it.
So
I
2
re-roll
successes. I'm
that.
just clarifying.
I'll re-roll that. What? Also, why did it take away one of my dice?
I don't know. That's weird.
You want to roll one more? Because sometimes the re-roll button is bad. Oh, okay. So it's that foot. You should have made the foot a little bit more even. So what did you mean to do? You meant to do throwing rocks at
I meant to
Warbot.
be like picking up, things around me and launching them at bots. My hand-eye coordination normally impeccable. At this size, not impeccable.
This size with uneven foot and like also uneven terrain. Like you have buildings to like now navigate underneath of you in a way that you've never had to do before. You pick up, I don't know, a tree, and you
Launch
are
it like a javelin.
getting ready to launch it like a javelin, and you get one bot, but then you definitely like overcompensated in your balance, and you just start falling down. So you get one bot, he meets a tree related death, but the other 2 are now alerted on this side of the perimeter, and you fall hard and like break a dilapidated building, and there's a huge crash, resounding boom.
Bimbo. Okay.
You did put your friends down before you fell into the
I
house?
did. I did. That was a good move
Good.
on my part.
Good.
I put them to the side and I said, stay clear. Okay. I kind of like slowly start getting up and I say, well, that didn't go good. I'm too big.
the other 2 robots are like coming our way now.
Yup.
Are you still big?
I think so.
He's still
We're on the
big.
perimeter of the vac.
You
I didn't want to
haven't-
go
yeah.
into the water yet.
You haven't crossed into the watery territory yet.
I'm gonna put on the
I could
glove
still
that,
try and fight two robots.
The glove that Birdie made me that has the saggy finger wires. We're like, okay, Birdie, it's our time to shine.
I love that. Okay. So one robot enters the scene. You kind of just hear it. And when you see this robot, you're like, oh, it's kind of also like it's working, but it's also kind of like corroding in the same weird way that you've seen like the car corrode and like how Mick has already corroded metal. So like it's working, it's perfectly functional, but there's just like you can see that there's like stress in the metal that is unusual and weird. So yeah, it sees you, it sights you, and it is starting to clomp its way over, laser guns pointing.
Laser guns? Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. I'm not immune
I'm
to
gonna
laser guns
turn-
if
I
I'm
will.
big.
I want to lead the group. Before you do anything this time, don't roll yet. Let me lead you so
Yeah.
you don't fail on 10
You have
dice.
2 conditions.
It's
Your
a-
lead is not that good.
It's a doubles, so it's a warbot, so it's still you need 2 successes.
Okay, this is my lead, Sarah, and I'm going to justify this really well. I want to neutralize their lasers by giving them quartz prisms. So when it shoots a laser, they have a little quartz prism that just harmlessly turns it into a nice rainbow.
How are you going to give them the quartz prism?
I'm gonna open
You're
up
giving
my
your
bag of
friends
gems.
the quartz prism, or
Yes,
you're giving the
yeah.
robots?
I'm giving my friends the quartz
This is
prism.
gonna be some precision laser catching.
Yeah, true.
All right, sure. This is the last session. You guys can make whatever big moves you want.
Sarah, I just want you to remember I let you turn into a bird,
You let me turn into a bird. You did. My biggest dreams came true.
and I did not let Sean turn into a bird. So that's 2 wins for you.
2 wins.
Go ahead and re-roll that, I guess. So it should be okay. That's good.
Great.
I am injured when Lucas's hobbled foot accidentally kicked me as he was standing up from a building.
Yeah, that makes
What's
sense.
that? 4. I put 4 into the dice pool.
What size quartz do you give your now big friend Lucas?
I put a quartz on the ground and I take the quartz and I just dunk it in the fertilizer. I shake it up, and then I imagine the quartz starts expanding rapidly, so I just sort of like throw the thing into the air and the quartz explodes the barrel from the inside as it grows to large proportion and Lucas can grab it.
I snatched the giant quartz.
She's muted, so she can't refute what I've just done.
I did not refute anything that you said.
Perfect,
Why would I do
perfect.
that? Okay, giant quartz attained. Regular size quartz attained.
Okay, now just when the lasers come at you, just use the quartz.
Bing, 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 bing.
Yep. Bing, 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 bing.
It's just like playing pinball, but
Yeah.
with lasers.
You guys are really good at this.
Speed of light? Who's heard of that? These are the
Who's heard of
slow
that?
lasers.
All right, the robot has definitely now sighted you and is advancing quickly in your direction.
I'm gonna turn the Invisigo on if it hasn't already been on, and I'm gonna run towards this robot and try to get within 10 feet.
Okay. The Invisigo gives a +1, I think.
I don't know. I don't have it down.
+1.
Somebody has it.
Lucas might have
I
it.
don't know. I don't have it written down. Let's put it that way. We
+1.
might have just gotten it. We might not have actually made it an item.
Okay,
Yeah.
and my goal, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna swing these wire noodles at the robot and disintegrate it.
Yeah. What?
I love that you're
roll-
getting within 10 feet, but not close enough to just touch it normally.
What
Well, within
skill
10.
do you
No,
want to
no,
roll?
no. 10 feet and then swing the wires. I'm
Yeah.
gonna
How do you?
move?
Sure. Okay, great. And I just narratively want to know how you hold the Invisigo so that I can just see that.
I hold
in
it on my
brain.
shoulder. I have
Yeah.
my wire hand like this, and I'm holding the cords like in it also.
Wolverine who? Great. Okay, yes. Go for it. I love
Can I also
everything.
add my +2 for my danger arm?
Yes, you can. Woohoo! 2 successes. Yay. All right. 1 bot down. You hit it, and tell me how the wires, how do you think the wires in your danger arm?
I
How do you think
swing
that
them
plays
like
out?
concentrating, and then they like disintegrate. Every single finger disintegrates and touches the robot, and then it just
Yeah.
spreads. So now
It's like a fuse.
Yes, now the glove is useless. It's just a glove
Yeah.
with holes in
It
the
was a
fingers.
single use wire glove. Great. So 1 robot down. 3rd robot you hear has been like wading through the water, so you hear it kind of like splish splashing its way through. But you still have the Invisigo radio on, so you, Mick, are unseen by robots within 10 feet.
Only once it gets within 10 feet. Lasers, notoriously longer range than 10 feet.
I can find a bush and hide in the bush, and somebody can distract
I
it.
can't hide.
You
I
lure
go-
someone to the bush.
I
doesn't
will go
matter.
meet the robot.
You go meet the
Oh, go
robot.
smash. I didn't use any of Birdie's help, so you have
Oh,
that too.
perfect.
Oh, I have all of it? Okay. Well, I need it apparently. Yeah, I will go galumphing over to the giant robot.
Okay, yeah. Robot is in water, so you're gonna have
That's fine. This
narratively,
is
you know.
the beginning
Yeah.
of the end of giant. Well, I don't want to touch that water.
Be fine.
I mean, you've sort of already been in the backwater before, you know, slightly. You've never
Now it's
known.
supposedly worse.
Improved.
Improved. Yeah,
Mick is
Principal
doing
Yarnick.
Okay, well, whatever. I'll go touch it. I go running over to that robot, deflecting lasers with my quartz shield, and then I'm going to like wrestle with it, and I want to hold it underwater so that it corrodes faster.
Oh, I
And,
like that.
So I'm not actually like breaking it or anything, but it just is like dissolving underneath me.
Cool.
So
Or at
I'll
least
do that with force, and I'll use all the help, which I think that's 4 bonus die, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Nice.
And then I'll get out of the water as quickly as possible.
great. So your arm and whatever else has touched the water is now rapidly shrinking.
I'm turning into a T-Rex.
Great, but all robots have been taken care of. You have achieved robot destruction. And
Guys.
you can see, you know where the hydrogen fires are thanks to Emmy's map, and you can see exactly where you need to go now that you don't have to fight a robot of how to get to the hidden layer, so to speak.
You're gonna have to climb up now, and my arms aren't long enough.
Well, bend down and give us a hand.
Just kneel. You just kneel. Just like lean over.
It's like just gonna lift it up to his shoulder, lift the other.
All right. What's your strategy here for crossing the back? Are you gonna avoid
bad.
water? Are you
I'm
gonna try?
leaping.
Are you taking as
Ooh.
big of a steps as you can? Okay, so you're leaping from dry
Leaping.
place to dry place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We're
That's
holding
the
on
goal.
for dear
For dear life.
Yeah.
Great. I'm gonna say roll move for that, just because I think leaping is maybe an unusual hockey player skill.
It is.
It's not. It's not.
Reroll.
Oh my gosh. Gonna re-roll that. We're not. This is not going good, guys.
We're gonna get to Elizabeth. I have 3 conditions. Sean
We
now
have
has
2
2.
conditions.
I think it's going great.
Okay,
think
I
this
want to
is
get
great.
there and no other robots, nothing notices us.
Sure. Great.
I
You
am
get there. So
leaping stealthily.
I don't know
Like,
how, but you're doing it.
doesn't make sense. But I am quiet as a ninja.
Except for
Great.
the 2 people on your shoulders.
Wait,
screaming.
okay, now I want to say that a serendipitous, lucky late night thunderstorm starts rolling in, and I'm leaping in time with the thunder.
Mhm.
And then once I arrive, the
You get
heavens rain
washed
down on
evenly.
me, and I shrink to my normal size.
It would be funny if you shrank proportionately, so your arms are still really small.
It would not be funny.
I would think that, yeah, I think that happens for sure. You get outside, like there's a rusty chain link fence. That is like where the storage place used to have a fence. So that's kind of like the perimeter of the lair. And yeah, so you start getting rained on, and you start to be afraid that maybe you aren't gonna be proportionate. Like your arms are still unusually.
It does seem to be shrinking everything in proportion.
Yes, but then
guys. my arms
We're
are so
just sitting
small.
on your shoulders as you're shrinking down.
And so yeah, but it all turns out fine in the end. You're normal. It's almost like nothing happened except you're a little bruised from your fall.
Yes.
And
Wow.
a little dizzy. You need a moment because that was like a rapid change of perspective.
Yeah.
Flawless performance.
Oh,
Love it. Love
we're
it.
never
for
doing
us.
that again.
Oh, we're out of fertilizer, so
Used it on the quartz. Yeah. Did you leave the quartz behind? The giant quartz.
you better not
It
have left
shrank
that
in
quartz
time
behind.
with
Yeah.
it shrank with the
you
rain.
got rained on. Yeah. Okay. So you now have a proportionate quartz. Great. So you guys
For
shrink,
proportionate lasers.
and you notice you hear a rustling. And you hear like a.
I hear no such thing.
Oh, what? One more time.
Possessed turkey? What?
Play again.
Yeah, sorry, wait, can I reassess that noise? Let's rewind.
What does it sound like?
I don't know.
Remake that noise. It was sort of a...
Oh, just not
Oh
a
no,
turkey
just
anymore,
a person
guys.
with the shivers.
Man, did you sit on a turkey?
And then you hear a.
You have hooves?
Is it a horse?
If this is a tater, I'm gonna lose my mind.
A tater?
a turkey mater.
What?
And you see, like, you hear this, and you see, like, there's kind of like rusted cars and, swampy water. And you see that there's just like a multi-legged.
Oh, there's a thing, guys. There's a thing.
I don't want a thing.
I forgot there was a thing.
God, there was a thing.
We
Just now.
arrived here unnoticed. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's not noticing you. It just seems like it's a little off its rocker.
It just frolics around.
It's just off its rocker. With all its legs. It doesn't have a rocker for that many legs.
Yeah, it's scurrying about,
Okay.
and
What
scurrying
does
is a
it look
generous
like?
Please describe.
You want to know what it looks like, the thing?
Yeah, I do. Unfortunately.
Hmm. Ahem. It is a squid-like horse creature that leaves a trail of slime wherever it goes.
Mhm.
It often covers itself with a green tarp. It has
Oh.
8 or so long tentacle hooves and a beak-like mouth that clacks and clicks. It neighs and moans
Oh.
And gobbles.
Nathan
and
Moans?
gobbles.
Okay.
It just seems to be guarding the entrance, and it's just kind of like destroying things, and it's just like an animal that's been kept in its cage too long. It's just kind of like pacing the chain link fence and like messing with stuff.
Oh, it's a squentar.
It's
Oh. We learned about
Squintar.
those in school.
Perfect.
Didn't you write your report about this?
It's a sleep
Yeah, Mick.
near tar.
Oh, it does have 8 legs. That's not a normal horse amount of legs.
A squip
Yeah.
near tar.
Just
It's a
every horse I've
sleep-
interacted with
Squidtar.
in this.
It's a sleep near tar. And yeah, it is kind of like got these tentacle hooved legs and a tarp covering its
Like
body.
there's the tentacles that are like all wobbly,
Tarp
but then there's
covering its
also
body.
hard hooves at the bottom, so that
Yeah.
it's go click, 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 click.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect.
But you
I don't-
remember as you're seeing this thing and the horror strikes you, you're like, yes. PF Liv was in charge of this, and she also made Caterpillar Track Bunny.
Yep.
So the level of
Checks out.
like
This does seem on brand.
organism combinations here does seem on brand to you.
Yarnik never said if it was friendly or not. I have a thing with 8-legged horse creatures.
Oh.
I don't think it's friendly.
It's frolicking.
I think we should sneak by it.
As it breaks something.
Like,
You're like,
wrecks.
it's frolicking, and it's just like
What does it sound like?
I can't do it again. How do I make enraged horse squid creature noise? I don't know.
A neigh with an aggressive click at the end.
Yeah, like that. Just like that.
Okay. Well, we could go get some more fertilizer and
No.
make it big. And while it's disoriented, we just sneak by it.
And unleash an eldritch horror on the world?
It's raining. It won't last that long.
Then what's the point of making it big?
As you're watching it and it's like wrecking this car, it is getting actively bigger. Like it is somehow assimilating the parts of the car, and
We gotta go.
We're now on
my
a
God.
time limit.
Oh. Maybe I can distract it by like using a hockey puck to like make a noise in the
No,
distance.
I have a perfect idea. This is flawless.
I'm scared already.
It obviously thinks its tarp is fashionable.
Yeah.
And so if we make fun of its tarp,
Harp is fashion.
it's gonna become self-conscious.
Uh-huh.
And then it'll be so upset we sneak by it.
Does it understand human language?
Listen to it. Yes, of course.
Those are not the sounds of human language.
you can tell this creature is obviously maddened. It is like,
Birdie, why is it mad?
Permanently enraged.
Why is it mad?
Yeah, why is it mad?
Oh,
Can't you
can I
empathize with it?
empathize with this creature from afar?
You want to empathize with the thing? Sure.
With the thing?
I'll let you empathize with the thing.
Do we think fish science is applicable to the squid horse thing, probably not.
Let me think about that for a hot second. I want it to be applicable, but I don't think it will be.
Okay. I don't think this is gonna go very well.
Oh!
Wow.
It did. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
What?
Why is the squintar? What? What?
What does it want? Is it illegal? No,
No,
that's
like,
not an empathize
Good
question.
illegal.
What? I want to know what her weak spot is. I want to know what she feels. And I want to know what does she want.
Okay. What she wants, what she feels, and what was the other one?
What her weak spot is.
Okay. Her weak spot. She is less, and she's the least intelligent big creature you have ever seen. Tequila Miss Margarita's dog is smarter than the thing. It's like purely just kind of like reacting to the moment. And you do get that there's somehow, and the one thing in its brain other than like rage is rage is Natasha has somehow there's like this directive that Natasha has communicated to it to keep all the intruders out from this area. I think that kind of answered all three. Was there one more thing that I missed? What does it feel? What's its
what does
weakness?
it want? What is
What
its
does it want?
weakness?
Yeah, its weakness. It's dumb.
Okay.
You could probably trick it.
Okay. What if we could either pretend to be a robot, or if it's really dumb, we could put green tarps on and pretend to be it.
That's good.
Oh. Hey, I was gonna say, can we trick it into like a helium fire?
Hurtful?
Hydrogen fire? It's what?
That's hurtful. We don't want to hurt it.
We're vegan
Yes,
here.
we do.
It has helium fires are not vegan.
This creature is not vegan. Let me put it that way.
It has feelings. It's just living its life. I say again as it smashes another car in the back.
It gets bigger.
It's just going and it's getting larger. More tentacles have emerged out of its back.
We need to get rid of it because eventually we have to leave this place too.
Yeah.
We just go in there, we change its directive. Once we get rid of PF Live, we change its directive to guard the multiverse from Elizabeth.
Yeah, I'm sure the Swedish government is going to love having this monstrosity guarding it from
Fun side
Elizabeth.
note, this is classified as a sickening monstrosity. Level 3. You will need 2 successes to
Are we sickened
defeat
by it? What constitutes defeat? I mean, I wanted to sneak back around it the entire time.
Yeah, I still think we could sneak past it with the green tarps.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
don't
good.
think the green tarp is a good idea. Why won't it just try and kill another version of itself?
No, it's gonna think that we are it. Because it's
Is
the
it
only
that
thing it's ever
self-aware?
met that has had a green tarp.
Where are we gonna get a
I
green
would
tarp?
say it is not self-aware. It will attack movement just like a dog would bark at its own reflection in a mirror. That this thing would be like.
See, the voice of God says it's dumb too.
I like it. It's a cute idea.
Okay.
But I will say, just in the level of its comprehension, that's where it is.
We could just sneak by it. We could distract it. Throw a rock in the other direction.
Yeah, I mean that seems like our best bet. Should we take a moment to help each other?
I felt like you were gonna say to pray.
Yeah. If you help me, I'll help you.
Okay.
Can
I'll
I just check my shame to succeed on a lead roll for you? Is that allowed?
Yeah, if you can justify it.
Yeah, can you justify it?
Yeah, I have visions. I can just say I have a vision of you getting it together, Lucas.
Oh, and succeeding in a roll.
Yeah, I guess. It just says if you succeed, the condition is healed. So
You have 2 conditions?
I have 2. You have 3.
I have 3. I need to be it.
It'd be better for you to check to give me a success so I have a better chance of leading you.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, okay, I will have a vision
Oh,
of
my lead's not
Lucas.
amazing though. What's your lead?
Oh,
I mean, it's 8.
9 is mine. What's your lead? Mick?
6.
Oh, okay.
7, but I have a condition.
Oh. Yeah, Lucas, I have a vision of you, and
There's
what are
only
your
2
conditions?
options.
What are your conditions?
Exhausted and injured. Tiring
Injured?
being a giant.
Yeah, it is tiring being a giant.
And I hurt myself when I fell.
Mm-hmm. I'll have a vision of you drinking coffee in the future. And so I'll say, Lucas, in the future, you won't be exhausted anymore. And in the future, you will be drinking coffee, which means you will not die to this thing now because then you couldn't
Mia's
drink
coffee shop.
No, that doesn't seem very relaxing.
As long as she's not there.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Thank you, Birdie. That really reassures me that I won't turn into a sentient building like my brother.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting it's. You're actually going to become a coffee shop. I misinterpreted it.
Well, at least I won't be exhausted. I'll be filled with caffeine. Okay, I'll lead Birdie and I'll say,
I am upset, exhausted, injured. Everything but
Oh.
scared.
reach into my hockey
Reach
bag
deep.
and I'll pull out a little first aid kit and I'll start wrapping up some of your injuries. And I'll be like, we got this, Birdie. You're the person with a plan.
I'm upset that
And
we have to kill this Gwentar.
this winter may need to die, but we'll cross that bridge
The
later.
Squintar is crazedly ramming its head against one of the buildings.
We're having a quiet moment over here. Ignore the Squintar. I know how you feel about multi-legged animals.
Does the Squintar have horse hair?
Oh my gosh.
100% yes, it does. You look under that tarp and it has just like
I forgot I still have tentacle whip. So we could
Ooh.
match it tentacle for tentacle. And we're gonna save everyone. And your dad will go back to normal and it will no longer be fish, only crabs.
That reality is gone forever.
No, it's not.
Okay. Oh,
Oh my gosh, heal 2. You're
well.
welcome.
I am no longer exhausted or injured, but I am upset because the Squintar must die.
The Squintar must die.
Yep. All right, Squintar.
Okay. I want to locate the nearest hydrogen fire on our map.
Yeah, you see it?
My complex plan is to launch rocks with hockey stick
So it
on a
runs.
noise path towards the hydrogen fire. Does this
I agree. I
sounds
agree.
sounds doable?
Sounds doable.
I would like to roll force
Sure.
with hockey stick.
I'm gonna say it's so it's pretty far, so your force makes sense because you'd really have to.
Yeah, I want to be as far away from the Squentor as possible while I'm doing this too.
2 successes.
Yeah.
Bang.
All right,
bong.
how do you think it plays out?
I think I have. Is there like a gate, like a fence, like a something keeping it in?
Yeah, it's behind the chain link fence.
Okay, we find like a weak spot in the fence, and I say, I like back up, and I say, on the count of 3, I need you two to like rip open the last of the fence, rip down the last of the fence. It's gonna make a loud noise, so you gotta run before it gets here. And then I'm gonna start chucking rock. I've got like a pile of rocks and brick and whatever. I'm gonna start throwing these towards the fire as quickly as possible, and we're gonna hope for the best.
Yeah, you can't see the fire, so you really have to rely on Emmy's map and like navigation to get your rock right in the right
Yeah.
place.
I might chuck a flammable piece of wood in the direction of
Okay,
the fire to
good
see if it
idea.
bursts. It's still there and bursts into flames.
Great.
And then yeah, I execute the plan. I think the fence rips open. The Squentor screams in rage, runs
Yeah,
over
you
this
can't
direction.
say that without making the noise.
Rawr. And
Okay.
then I proceed to, I think I like also try to throw some stuff at it too to like keep it kind of enraged and focused in this direction. So I'm kind of like, does it have eyes? I've just
You
pondered
can't
this
see
question.
any
They're under
eyes. You
tarps.
can't see anything under the tarp other than like
Okay.
sickly hair.
I
Horrifying.
imagine it makes the worst screaming sound.
Yeah, it's something
Especially when
that,
it burns.
Yeah.
especially, I think only because you bonded with a dying robot fetus
Mhm.
that you are not permanently scarred from hearing the horrific eldritch noises this
The
makes
death
as it.
knell of a Gwentor in
Yes.
fire.
Yes, it is not good, and it kind of like melts and roasts all at the same time.
Calamari.
Sickly, greasy smoke, and you just see like the limbs kind of curl up, and it makes a loud ruckus. as it
Well,
dies.
on that note, let's go.
Great.
We're not going to say any words.
Good riddance. And then
No.
Lucas
I'll go near
grabs
the fire.
Birdie and starts
I'll say-
running towards the.
I didn't know Squinty long. But in the moments that I did know him, he tried his best. And we all can hope to try our best like he did. But we don't need to die in a hydrogen fire.
Good words, Birdie.
Thank you.
So true. So true. Great. Okay. So you have 3 buildings to choose from. Yarnik gave you directions, so you can see that there's one building that is clearly more used. There's not like trash blocking the doors and stuff. So you enter in that one. It is totally empty except for a white trap door that goes
What? Wait.
down.
Hey, do you guys think it's that?
I don't know. It seems too obvious.
It's just a white trap door embedded in concrete?
Yep.
Okay.
It's
And
it's
this-
probably not a trap.
And this is where Yarnik told you to go. And you
Yeah.
did
Okay.
charm him, so I would not tell you a lie.
Let's do it.
Okay, down the hatch.
It's not locked. We can just go into
It's
it.
not locked. You can just
Wow.
go into it. I mean,
She doesn't
the
have very good
Squintor-
hatch security.
Yeah, the
The
Squintor
was the hatch.
the hatch security and the vac itself. You had robots and then you had a Squintor. Like they were like, if somebody's gonna get that far, then anything I can do to this hatch won't save me. Great. So as you open the hatch, you see it's like deep, dark stairs going down. And I'm assuming you guys are walking down those stairs. Anything you want to do, or are you just looking in?
I mean, do we want to sneak? Probably.
Probably.
Or what if we pretended to be Yarnik?
How are we gonna do that?
Or what if we go get that tarp and pretend to be
Pretend to be the
The tarp is gone.
The tarp has been burnt to a crisp in a hydrogen fire.
What if we just make horrible
I do have one
squelching
tentacle.
noises? Yeah, and you lead with the tentacle, and then like we gobble and make squishing noises, and then they'll think Squinty's just coming down.
For his nightly visits.
Just pop it in. No, we should probably sneak.
We should sneak.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, my sneak's pretty good. But I feel I'm so uncertain now after my previous rolls.
Well, you go first.
Or we can make the worst person sneak, and that will be the group sneak.
That's probably a worse idea.
Yeah.
That's an awful idea. I need someone to give me a success.
I want to be using like my tentacle whip as like a way to navigate like ahead of me in space. So like it's harder for me to be surprised because or like to do things from further away if like I need to open doors, so like I can open the hatch with the tentacle whip because it's like prehensile. You see what I mean? Almost like
seeing eye tentacle whip.
almost like a cane, kind of. Not really, but like kind of like to feel along the walls if there's like doors. That way, like if someone were to pop out, I'd still be like a couple feet away or
Sure.
something crazy. Okay. 2 successes. Which means I can give one other kid a success.
I have 4 dice.
Just one, though. You're muted, but that seemed like just 4 too.
I also only have 4 dice.
Well, good luck to the both of you.
You could always check your shame.
That's true. I don't know how I would use it, but it'll be fine.
You're dyslexic?
You misread a sign.
How does that help me sneak?
Well, can I also roll now, and then if
Then
I
we can
also
sort
fail,
it out, yeah.
then it's a
Yeah,
problem.
sure, that's fine. I was
Well,
gonna
one
say
of you has a success.
Yeah,
one of you has an Elizabeth detector.
Yeah,
That's not very
I'll-
sneaky, unfortunately.
It's not.
I
no.
can turn the volume down to it. We come in peace.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, of course. Mick obviously made it with.
I think it had so many bonuses on it that whatever we wanted to do.
It did have a lot of bonuses.
Oh, perfect.
Good job.
Oh, Mick, you're fine. You almost go do the wrong thing, and then somebody catches you. Okay, great. So you are walking down these stairs. As you're walking down, you notice that the stairs are made from like this black kind of elastic, kind of sandy particle material. And it's leading you down like a drained section of the tunnel. So you're back into like the old loop tunnels that were made back in like the 50s. And you're just like in this maze of corridors. And you're walking around, and everything is made out of like this black sand particle material, and things are kind of like held together and shifting. And as you kind of like get a little bit more light, like that's maybe coming down from like another room, you look around and you can just see that in this black sand there's also like veins of liquid black that's like pulsing through this whole chamber organism thing. And as you look behind you, you notice that like the door behind you has moved away. Like it's totally forming and like reforming as you're like walking through it. almost. It's like a fluid structure in a way. So you see that, and I will take a quick 15-minute break right there. While we figure out and we get ready for our final showdown with
We're not ready.
the prophets. Two out of the 3 prophets. One prophet is on an island and he wasn't allowed to come.
We can get rid of PF Flip first.
PF Liv.
She's the weak link.
Mia. Will we save Mia? Will PF Liv be there? Will Elizabeth be there? What's the Futurum telescope? And what the heck is this place we're in right now? This Neo Hephaestum seems different than the original. Hi, we're here in the Neo Hephaestum, and we are not scared of failure. We are ready to kick
We
some
don't believe in
profit butt.
failure.
We have embraced failure as a
we go
way of
one.
life.
Yeah, so we are back. You guys have just entered this sand shifting like layer with throbbing veins of black fluid running through it. And you walk forward and you can see that there is like you're in a hallway. Like even though this is really creepy and weird and things are kind of fluid and moving around, you are in a hallway. You can see that there's like a door with a light ahead. And you can enter in there and you can hear like somebody is in there and you recognize that it is PF Liv, aka Natasha Lintop's voice, who's just like muttering to herself while she's click clacking away at something. What? It's only good things.
Go get her, Lucas.
Lucas holds up his hockey stick. He's like, somebody has to open the door, and then I'll rush in. What?
You get her.
Yes, I'm gonna get her.
Yeah, I'll distract her. I'll do like a cool thing. You know how villains monologue? Well, I'll monologue at her and she'll be confused. She'll be like, is Birdie the villain? And while she's confused, there, you get her.
Sure, I guess.
If it goes horribly, just run in it anyway.
The plan was to hit her anyways without any monologuing.
Oh, well, everything's improved with some
She already seems
monologuing.
distracted.
Are you aiming for death here? What are you aiming for? Knockout, death?
We're aiming for knockout because we can choose death at a later date.
Wait, don't knock her out. What if we just get her and tie her up and then we can ask her where Mia is?
Oh, fuck, we have to save Mia too.
Yeah. We need to remove Mia from the equation before we confront Elizabeth so she can't threaten Mia's
Okay,
livelihood.
I'll tie her up with the tentacle whip.
Mhm.
Then that'll be perfect. But we have to make sure she doesn't like scream for help or I don't know, talk through their weird neck tattoos.
Okay.
I leave that up to you guys. Okay, I charge in with the tentacle whip.
You
All
get
right.
her and then I'll talk to her. Go. I
Slam
slam the door open.
with your usual talking shenanigans.
You enter into a nightmarish scene as always when expected with people.
Oh god, yeah, this lady needs to be stopped.
Let me So, you open the door, you see that it is a lab, and she is experimenting on modeled human bodies made from machine and combo with machine tissues. And she's trying to bring these kind of humanoid bodies to life. So it's part machine, part human tissue.
That's been done.
Been there, done that. Sunshine Jackson did it first.
Yeah.
And Sunshine Jackson's was like elegant. This is like much more mechanical. You know, there's like tubes and wires kind of like sticking out from odd places in these bodies. You can kind of see that there's a room on the other side that has sparkling phosphorescent particles hanging in the air, and there's some kind of mirror or portal looking thing over there. But from what you see, that's basically all that's in the room, and there's a large corridor that like goes further off, and you assume there's stuff there, and so you just charge it, and PF Liv is working on one of her bodies, and she goes,
"Not anymore."
You and she
and I say you with my tentacle whip as I tie her up.
Okay.
I restrain her.
What are you gonna roll?
Force.
Cool. Great.
2 successes.
What's your extra success?
Oh my gosh, my extra success is I think I want to frighten her so that she will like tell us what we need to know because knows she is completely like at our mercy. Um so I'm going to like charge in. She says you and I say yeah, us. And then I like lasso my tentacle whip around her, wrestle that cowgirl and wrap the whip around her all the way. So we'll probably have to say goodbye to tentacle whip for now. But I've got her completely tied up, and then I like. Was she working in a chair?
No, I was thinking she was kind of standing over like a medical bed, but there is a chair in the room.
Okay. No, I just like tie her up with the tentacle whip. I like shove her, then I like kind of push her hard against the wall, and then I take out my hockey stick and I have it like right at her throat. And I say, "You're gonna tell us everything you know. Right now, you'll never see your squintar again."
How did you get past Bessie?
Bessie.
That's for us to know and you to maybe find out at a later date. To be decided, depending on what you say here and now.
All right, so what are you
Birdie, do your
asking her?
thing. I don't know, Birdie, what are we asking?
Oh, I walk in, arms crossed, strutting in. PF live. Your
Otherwise,
days of bad science are coming to an end. If you speak well, your squintor might live.
Oh,
have...
not Bessie. She's my best work.
Well, she might live. If you answer our questions.
What do you want to know? I'll tell you anything.
Oh. Okay. Where's Mia?
Oh, Mia, she's in that room over there in next to the canned goods in the refrigerator.
Next to the canned goods.
Where's Elizabeth?
Elizabeth get a
Elizabeth's
yen
in
for the
her
canned
lab.
goods?
She's working on the Futurum telescope. She's been locked in there for hours. She won't let anybody in.
Oh. Hey, how close are you to her? Like Yarnik, we flipped him almost instantly. We didn't even have to do anything.
You get the sense that she has doubts about Elizabeth just from like the way that she's so willing to answer your questions when she was like so on board before. And you just get the sense that it's like too much of a failure to say that Elizabeth is now bad. So she needs just kind of like a reason to see flipping as a success, kind of a
Can
thing.
I charm PF live?
Sure can, bud.
Can I lead you?
Yeah, I'm rolling 8.
Yeah.
Do I only need 1, or is it like just normal?
I'll let you do 1 just because that like scare intimidate from the last one is
Okay,
kind of
then I don't
helping you out
think
here.
you need it.
Yeah, that's fine. Charm PF live.
Oh my word.
Oh my goodness. What do I want? PF, do I want to form a lasting relationship with PF Liv?
No, you really don't.
Do I want her to be infatuated with me? Do I want her to take risks to help me?
Up to you.
Or do I want her to keep believing that the squintar lives?
Just ran away. It just ran away from home.
It ran straight into a helium fire. We tried to stop it.
It's gone to better pastures.
I will
A better place now.
want her to take risks to help us.
Okay.
Mainly, she will tell us things that are risky for her to divulge.
Okay. Yeah.
That I want to relate to her because we both deeply cared for Squinty.
Okay.
That's true.
Tell me how this plays out.
Okay. I'll say she called Squinty Bessie.
Yeah.
Be like, Squinty was pretty good work. I mean, the tentacles were fine. The cape, it was very cute. And it was
Wasn't it? It was so
it was
adorable.
trying its best. I saw a lot of potential in it. It was doing really good.
It learned how to grow all on its own.
Oh my goodness. I just feel an affinity with 8-legged creatures, so
It's just such an
anyway.
even number.
It's just such an even number. You're right. Anyway, so Elizabeth over there doesn't have 8 legs.
True.
And she's cuckoo banana brain. I don't know if you've picked up on that, but like,
It's
ooh, girl
I was
has.
starting to have some doubts. Yeah.
When
I think
was
the
it when
interplanar
she
travel maybe
was
was a
that
little
what did
too
it for
much.
you, or was it when she abducted a bunch of children and teleported around naked? That
No,
was what did it for me.
We've been doing that. Experimenting on children is nothing new, but it's just she's just changed.
Say less.
Yeah, please say less.
She's she's so bossy now. There's no room for me in her vision.
Oh wow, that sucks. Because you guys were like you were the prophets. Like
Yeah, we were a group, and now it's
that's
like
plural.
Elizabeth. Yeah,
Wow,
no,
that's
it's
probably
like
really frustrating.
It's the Spice
the
Girls falling
prophet.
apart.
I know. Wow. So I mean, what are you just like? Is she going solo? Are you just in here trying to make this work, and she's
I mean,
working on the
I
next
was
best thing?
yeah, she doesn't care about what I'm doing at all. She didn't even like Squinty.
Well, I'm sure her stupid telescope's not all that great. What does it do anyway?
That's what I said. I mean, it's just supposed to control the future or something by
Oh,
coming up with all the possible future outcomes.
Squinty had 8 legs. That's kind of. I know the future of that. It's called glorious.
Exactly. She's not joining machine and organic matter into the perfect blend.
She's not doing that.
Neither are you.
We can
Neither
confidently
are
say
you, girl.
she is not doing
And
that.
she has not been taking care of me at all. I've had to take care of that brat, and
Oh, Mia at all. I heard me at all. And I was like,
Mia. No, me. I can
Okay.
take care of myself. I'm a
Yeah,
grown
oh,
woman.
okay.
But
Yeah.
Mia, that teenager. I mean, what do we even need Yarnik for anyway? He's just useless.
You don't need Yarnik. Probably. I mean, sounds like Elizabeth doesn't even need you.
I know. She thinks I'm not on to her game, but I know. I won't let her get away. What do you want her to do?
What do we want her to do? I want to like to use her against Elizabeth. I don't know if just be like ask for
Yeah,
weakness
she
or
like right. I was thinking maybe we get her to help us, and then if we can get Mia, maybe Mia can help us get more advantages, like situational advantages.
Can Elizabeth still planar travel, or did we negate that? I can't remember.
Elizabeth cannot planar travel anymore.
She just PF Liv
That was
just
the
used a
machine
robot
that
to
let her.
rip her out
Yeah.
of
Literally
the.
used a
okay.
walker robot, and you can see as you're there, she has like a little walkie-talkie that you're assuming is like how she's been communicating to robots.
Can we use any of like her experiments? Are there any of them working that could like help us? So I don't like that. Okay. No.
I'm gonna say they're all in the planning stage.
She holds up an arm that's just detached from the robot.
I don't like it.
I mean, what if you like?
Wait, can we what does PF Liv know about the Neo Hephaestum and like what's powering it? Maybe we can depower it.
Yeah, do you want to ask her about the Neo Hephaestum?
What's going on with this Neo Hephaestum?
What is gestures broadly?
How are you powering it? It's not like the regular Hephaestum. You don't have those.
Is this the
don't
disease Yarnik was working on?
have the being.
Blackness.
It's like, oh, that. Well, we just happened to discover that when we moved here to make our new Hephaestum. This, she points, has always been around. we just found that it was kind of already sentient and we could get it to do what we wanted.
What? Sorry, what's sentient? The
Yeah.
black goo?
This. And she gestures broadly to like the sand particles and she's like, look. And then she like shapes a table out of the black sand and like moves things around.
How does it help you do science? Just so you can
How is it
rearrange?
sentient?
She's like, it's not as, don't tell Elizabeth. She says it's the Neo Hephaestum. It's not quite as good as the original Hephaestum. The original Hephaestum that was
Lucas knows that.
made for us. That
No.
like we went there and all of our experiments went right. This, this is better than a regular lab, but it is kind of hobbled together. There's some
You're telling me
similarities.
this isn't going right? I look at the hobbled together trash pile in front of her.
She's like, I'm getting there, okay? And yeah, so she says basically that when they decamped, she knew Elizabeth was coming, like once Elizabeth reached this plane, because Elizabeth paged everybody. And so she had been scouting out new labs since you guys wrecked her first lab.
Could have killed her the first time.
So she found this as a place. And while she was here, she discovered that in the water, in the vac, there's a higher level of these black particles. And she doesn't know exactly where they're coming from, but they're in the water, and that if you gain enough of them, they can be molded and activated in different ways. And the liquid, she's like, the liquid, that's conscious. The particles, inert.
And what is making this freaky stuff happen?
She's like,
He
yeah,
points to me.
and she basically is like, Elizabeth was really the one that took that to like the next level, and she hasn't shared any of her research. I just noticed it was there, but Elizabeth is the one that harnessed all of, was able to extract the black particles and the black fluid and like shape it into this place.
Hmm.
Do you know what a penguin is?
Yeah.
Penguin. Remind where are you getting that from?
A comic book?
No, don't read comic books.
Have you ever heard of 51 Pegasi B?
51. There was a rumor going around that we had opened a gate into 51 Pegasi B, but
What?
I always thought that was crazy. But now that you bring that up again, it's possible. Maybe.
I don't
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah,
Probably unrelated to the
totally.
current.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
And you get the sense she's like, yeah, that's an old rumor that has been going around since like the loop was built, because it was like one of those conspiracy theories that
What's that portal over there?
we haven't had time to figure that out yet.
That just
exists?
It probably goes to an alien world or something.
I have a note here it's called the Penguin Threat. They have underground portals. It's an alien invasion that probably goes to 51 Pegasi B.
Oh yeah, probably.
And it's just over there. You haven't
Are
done
things
anything
coming
with
out
it?
of the portal, even though you haven't gone in?
She hasn't gone in. Yeah, you just like that was Elizabeth revealed that room of the Hephaestum, and she hasn't really messed with that. She's not really into portals. You get the sense that
Or aliens.
She's more of a mechanical girl.
She's just it's not very interesting. But she's like, yeah, it's probably possible. And yeah, I forgot about that old rumor, that old wives' tale about 51 Pegasi B. And you get the sense that tale was from when they first built the particle accelerator back in the 50s. People thought they were ripping rifts into the world. And that the particle accelerator.
They are.
I've seen weirder things.
Yeah, and so
I've seen a squintor.
I'm currently seeing weirder things.
So yeah, she's like, I mean, the black stuff is doing its job. She finds it all very like nonchalant. She's
Mundane,
used to
okay.
it. She's a cuckoo banana brains scientist, so she's like, it's useful. It's great. It keeps the rain out, and I can have a table whenever I want.
Wow.
There you go. But you get the sense that whatever Elizabeth's doing, she's like, I don't know exactly how the Future Room telescope works, but I do know that Elizabeth is somehow harnessing this material to build it, and she's been very closed mouthed about it. Like, she's not sharing her scientific secrets because she's, a diva now.
Is there
Why
any way
did
to
she-
disrupt the particles?
They're inert.
The liquid?
She's like, oh, your Fred might be able to do it.
Which one?
The one with the owl.
Vibe can disrupt the particles.
Not the owl, the one with the owl. Vibe has a smaller second
The
owl.
arm.
And I feel like, Mick, you didn't notice this, but part of the wall has just like been bending towards you. Like you've magnetically attracted like iron filings or something, essentially, is what's happening to your danger arm.
Gosh. Why did she need Yarnik? Like, what is Yarnik contributing?
Oh, well, Elizabeth, she's such a diva now. But she wanted us not only to take over the world, but to get our reputations back as scientists, because we were totally discredited with the whole Michaela
murder
article thing. Nobody knows she was murdered. She just died under mysterious circumstances. Yarnik definitely murdered her, but
yes.
side note.
We're covering that later. Please stop admitting to murder in front of me.
She's like, Yarnik. So Elizabeth's grand plan was for Yarnik to release the disease and then come up with the solution to the disease, and then we would be heroes again. So Yarnik was in charge of like salvaging our external reputation. Like, whatever, who cares?
Reputation.
So, yeah.
Reputation.
Reputation.
That's what I always say.
That's what we always say.
So yeah, he was just going to make everybody sick and then make them all better again.
Oh, he has a good reputation doing one of those and not the other.
I know, that's why he should never have been on the team in the first place, but whatever. No one asks Natasha anything at all.
Who's Natasha?
You mean PF Liv?
PF Liv. Yes.
Okay.
Nobody asks PF anything at all.
Okay, Liv, you're gonna stay here, and we're gonna get Mia.
Yeah, Mia's just tied up next to the canned goods in the refrigerator in the other room.
Oh, hey, Mia.
Mia!
Oh. Are you eating canned goods? Why aren't you responding?
Lucas unties her.
Oh my gosh. How did you guys get in here? They're crazy.
Yes, they're crazy. We know.
They
Now, how
are.
much do you know, and can you help us?
And she's like, I'm going to need more specifics.
We need to stop. Elizabeth, you've been here. You're smart. You haven't done any science while you're tied up?
Well, excuse me for not doing science while I was abducted. I'm sorry.
There's always time for science, Mia.
Emmy would be so proud. She's like, I don't have time. I didn't have time for science, but I do know that there's horse tranquilizers over there. And she points to a room where there's like a tranquilizer gun.
For what?
Oh, Lucas grabs that.
Why did you not just manifest a pair of scissors out of the floor?
She's like, I don't know how they're doing that.
Oh.
I'm
Did
going
you
to try to
ask?
manifest a pair
Yeah.
of scissors.
Great. What do you want to roll? I think empathize
Manifesting.
Empathize with the building.
Empathize
What's your
might be right.
empathize?
Low. But I'll try.
I'll give you get a danger arm bonus.
Oh my gosh. Nope. I'm not re-rolling.
Yeah. How do you think attempting to manifest plays out? What do you do? What does manifesting look like to you?
I put my hand out.
Could have
And
used
I
a crystal.
think really hard about a pair of scissors.
I feel like you do see that the room like bends to you, but you don't
I
get
don't see
anything
my
at
eyes
all.
are closed.
Yeah, you don't see, but everybody else
You're
sees.
doing
like,
great. Keep going. Keep going. You're almost there.
Please stop. Please stop.
But yeah, you're having almost like the anti-manifest. You're de-manifesting.
A scissors-sized hole appears. What?
In space-time, a black hole of scissor appears. It does
Yeah.
cut through literally anything.
You don't manifest a black hole, but some like little tendril of the wall has like moved towards you, and it gets like sucked in to your hand.
Is it working?
Lucas gets his hockey stick out and he's like batting away tendrils.
I don't think it's working.
Just
You should probably stop.
No.
Mia goes, well, that went well.
It was science,
Mia?
Mia. You clearly don't understand.
This is what you should have been doing.
Horse tranquilizing gun.
Lucas does acquire the horse tranquilizers. Okay.
She's like, I don't know. The really crazy lady is in that
Elizabeth.
room.
Does she have any like things in there with her?
I don't. What do you mean by things? She doesn't take anything out. She just goes in and she
Literally
stays in there.
anything. Like thing.
Wait.
Stuff.
Is there any technology? PF Live had a computer, right?
Elizabeth sent an email earlier.
Yeah, there's a computer.
Okay, I'd like to phone a friend, otherwise known as connecting to my astrally embodied building brother.
Oh my God.
Okay, yeah. How do you do that?
Ring ring,
I don't
brother.
know.
Hello,
I go
building.
over to the computer. Didn't he say I could contact him anytime now?
I think he did, yeah. But he also wanted to hide from Elizabeth.
Well, it's too late for that. We're here.
Okay, yeah. What do you do?
If he wants to hide, he cannot pick up.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over to the computer and I'm gonna manifest my brother.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna send an email with. I'm gonna like type in an email and I'm gonna put as for the like address. I'm gonna put just Michael's name, full name, no @ sign, no anything, just like Michael space last name. And the subject will be urgent. Your little brother needs help.
Cool. Now. What do you want him to do? Do you want him to like?
He can send an email back, I guess, if he doesn't want to fully manifest.
Okay, yeah, cool.
I'm gonna
Alright.
be like, PF Liv is crazy. She's making a new Vesta.
Elizabeth is crazy. I mean, PF Liv.
Well,
is
they're
also
both crazy, yes, but Elizabeth is crazy. How do we
I think
stop
this is
these
a contact. Roll
particles?
contact.
Love to contact. Ooh.
I'll give you +1 brotherly love. Oh no, you don't need it.
Well, I'll roll that +1.
Nope.
Don't need it.
Great. You contact him, and you want him to manifest IRL, which
Or like pull me into the whatever
Into
he
the
did with the ping pong
subspace.
table.
Okay, great.
With the not pinball machine, not the ping pong table.
You send that email, and
I say, Birdie, give me a crystal.
What type? You can't
Just any crystal.
No, you can't just. What do you need it to do?
The contact crystal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, here's a ruby.
Yeah, and as you're talking about that and you turn back to the computer screen, you see that the screen has liquefied and a liquid silver form of your brother has stepped out of the screen and he slowly turns into full color Michael.
Do we all see this?
Yeah.
Even PF Live.
PF Live, close your eyes.
Mia too. And
Mia,
she goes, "What in the?"
Ignore the silver person.
He's not real. You
He's
took some horse tranquilizer. This is a hallucination.
he was silver for a moment, and then he turns into like full
Yeah.
flesh color. What do you need? Where is this place?
What do you
Is
mean,
this
where's
where
this place?
Elizabeth
It's in
is
the loop.
hiding?
Yes. She's made a new Hephaestus somehow with this weird black particles and sentient water, and there's a portal to a different dimension. You know things about portals. What do we do about the portal?
He's like, "Oh, this is not good." And then all of a sudden, his eyes go silver, and the voice of the Hephaestus is like, "Yeah, this is." The Hephaestus like, "This is old alien technology."
Okay, well, let's use new alien technology to get rid of it.
He's like, and you get the sense that Michael / the Hephaestus can neutralize the effect of the Neo Hephaestus so like you're
Yeah, I
assuming
want that for sure.
Yeah, so this this technology she's stumbled onto, this like consciousness is powering her Futurum telescope. So Michael will help you turn off the power, for lack of a better word.
Yeah,
So there's
just turn it off for like 10 minutes while we go bother her.
Yeah. And so you see him and you're like, okay, starting now. And he jabs his hands into the floor. His hands go straight through the floor, and you see light just like emanate from him and travel through the floor. And everything kind of like, it's been kind of shifty before everything freezes into place. And
Okay, time to go.
That was just normal brother things. Michael's always been able to do that. Okay, so nothing
don't have
funny going on
time.
here. PF Live.
No strange things here, my lord.
Us normal
and
brothers here, my lord.
Mia is like, this is the room. So she like takes you to the door that
Okay, we're
Elizabeth
Russian.
uses.
Lucas is Russian.
It's not locked because like now Michael has deactivated the building. So like power's off,
Yeah.
locks are open. You like maybe hear on the other side Elizabeth is cursing, going like, what the heck? What's happening?
Yeah.
Like kicking stuff or like doing whatever
Lucas
she's doing.
kicks down that door.
Okie dokie.
Bam.
Bam.
Hockey stick raised.
Yeah, and you see the light has traveled through the building, and so now there's just glow emanating from the wall. So it's lit in the room. And you can see that in this room, Elizabeth has been working on her machine, which she has been calling the Futurum telescope. It is an entire room full of electronics, mechanical devices, monitors, and computers. There's about 30 cables that run from the center of the telescope into the walls of the room. So that's kind of like the power source. She was using this to power
Not
the
anymore.
telescope. And you can see as you're passing through, because like the last little bits of power are kind of flickering, that you get glimpses in all these screens of like your older future selves. Like you can see that like all the cameras in the room are like extracting future information and like flashing it onto the monitors. And that's like that just sputters out as like the last little bit of power ekes out. And yep. You can see Elizabeth has a blowtorch. And she's working on some like cable near her. And she also has a loaded gun. Right next to her.
I have a
She's
loaded
standing.
horse tranquilizer.
And the room is super hot, and she's just you see her, she's just totally sweating, and she has like
Is she naked?
She's not naked,
Okay,
but she's
good.
lost like 30 pounds. Like she has not been eating. She has been working obsessively over this. And we're gonna enter into extended trouble to defeat Elizabeth, I am contractually obligated to tell you what is at stake. You are going to go for like an in between, extremely difficult and an almost impossible. So you're gonna get 4 times the number of teens. So we'll say that'll be like 13. We'll just give you one harder because it's the last one.
Yeah.
You'll get a bonus.
Easy
Lucky
stuff.
number 13.
Yeah. You'll get a bonus from Michael's help and from Mia's help.
Oh my god.
So you can decide, between the two of you, you can decide like who gets Mia and Michael attributed to them. And what's at stake is basically if you fail, Elizabeth will detain you, and she'll use you for her next experiment and also become queen of the future. She'll kind of
Sweden?
Queen
of the future of the whole world.
Of
You know,
future
she is
Sweden.
Serbia?
Even Serbia.
She will complete her telescope and she will have more knowledge of the future than is possibly just and fair, and she'll use that to her advantage to take over the world.
Great.
Okay. Before
We
we
can't
do
let
this,
that happen.
Lucas
Yes.
opens the door. I come in monologuing. I say, Elizabeth,
Darling.
darling. If your Futurum telescope truly worked, you probably should have seen this coming.
She spits and loads her gun.
Okay, that's all. That was my monologue.
I
I
love
live
it.
my wow.
I love that
Short
for
and
us.
sweet. Okay. Does my horse tranquilizer gun count as like a plus
it does
something
count
weapon?
as a +1.
It's only plus
And
1.
I'll give you +2 for Michael, and I'll say me as a +1 because I just don't know how effective I am with that stuff.
Can we
Mia's
also?
smart.
Can
She
I use
figures
PF
something out.
Live?
Yeah, if you want to use PF Live. You
I'll
did
use
charm
PF
her
Live.
to use
Yeah.
to do risks.
I
Yeah,
think it'll
so-
make sense with what I want to do.
Okay.
So
So
I'll use PF
Mia,
Live.
PF Live, and Michael will all be +1s.
Okay. I think I'm trying to think of what Lucas wants to do. I don't know. What's Mick gonna do?
I'm gonna go grab some cables and anti-tinker everything in this room.
Anti-tinker.
Anti-manifest, anti-tinker.
Anti-tinker. The power of scary arm.
I have 2 ideas. Tell me which do we think will be better. I can anti-empathize, also called antagonize on a personal level, Elizabeth. Or I can comprehend what she's doing here and like try to like mess it up so she's distracted because like Lucas is coming at her, but she's like, no, don't rip that. That's an important cable. And then I'm just like, whoops, or I don't know, something like that.
A Swedish fish type
Yeah.
incident, we might say.
I'm leaning
An
toward the first
SFI.
one.
Yeah, I think antagonize is better.
On a personal level.
Anti-tinker, anti-empathize.
Yeah. I'm
And you
gonna...
anti-move because you tranquilize it, so she can't move
Oh,
anymore.
shit.
Oh, yeah, I guess I could move. I was thinking force, but move is more fun. Yeah, I'll use move. I'll use move with Tranquilizer and Michael. And my goal is to, like, this is an old reference. Sarah might remember, because I think she's seen this movie. But in, like, the third X-Men movie, when Beast comes out with the, like, serum tranquilizers and gets Magneto in the back and
Yes.
does that, there you go, for all the people who've seen that ancient movie now. If you remember, that's what I want to do with Elizabeth. I want to like be running, juking while she's distracted, and then I want to like leap and like horse tranquilize her right in the neck.
Great. Great.
For
And I'll
go
say
guns,
that
I don't do guns.
yeah, no, force all physicality only. Great. Okay, who wants to roll first?
I'll roll first.
Yeah, you're going well.
But
And I want to hear how the anti-tinker happens.
yeah, I think I'm gonna take the +1 from Mia. So Mia will be in here too. I'm gonna go grab some cables and I'm just gonna start touching the cables to each other and trying to spread the danger arm
Juju.
corrosion.
Yeah.
Ideally, maybe I like can swing one and touch the gun and get the gun, but I don't know. And then I'll just be yelling at Mia and be like, pull that one, touch that one.
Pull the red wire. Great. And you'll get danger arm bonus too.
Perfect.
Danger arm.
Ooh, reroll.
But how?
The probability is low. I get one more.
You do get one more.
Okay.
Okay,
Two.
2.
Oh, 2
Wow,
out of
great.
14.
13.
13.
2.
We only need
It's
to get
close.
11. Sean, you and I. How many dice are you rolling?
A lot, but not that many. I think you're
Ooh.
next.
I am next. I think during, like, as this whole fight scene and tinkering scene is playing out, I'm just walking casually around monologuing at Elizabeth.
What is this manifestation of Duchess from Blades in the Dark that is suddenly happening to Birdie? You've been like
Birdie-
astrally possessed by Duchess.
Birdie has just unlocked a new level of her personality.
So she's just walking around. And she's like, "You almost got us, Elizabeth. I will say it took us quite a while to catch up to you, and you almost." And just like in the distance or in the background, just explosions as wires are being connected. I like duck under a beam
Shower
as it
of
falls.
sparks.
Yeah. But you had one weakness, and that was
I have no weaknesses.
your weakness was that you suck. And so you really inspired us, who also suck, to suck less than you. And that's where we are now. And then sort of like as I'm monologuing, every time she like looks away, I'll just chuck a gem at her, so she has to look back at me.
Love that for us. Okay, great.
And then I'll be
use
like,
your gems.
"This Hephaestum, it's not a good Hephaestum." I'm gonna like use what PF Lib was telling me, being like, "This new Hephaestum, it's just," I'll like touch the wall. "It's nothing like the old one. It's black. It's not even silver. They're totally different. I thought your dumb mind could read that." Anyway, and then I'll just continue my monologue as I circle the room,
Great.
chucking a gem at her every time she looks away.
Stepping over cables.
Exactly.
Love that for us. Okay, great.
This whole time, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Wait. And she's like, "What is that thing?" I feel like that, in fact, is antagonizing her.
Oh,
You
use that
can
instead.
you can use that too if you would
Okay.
like.
As well, in addition,
I'll let you do as well as in addition because
we need to
Sure.
pull our weight.
I know. I'm like, can I use hockey stick and tranquilizer right
it's
now?
the last day you can do whatever you want.
Can I use fish science? And ooh, maybe one of these is applicable.
Fish science might be
You
applicable.
could use fish science in
That's
this
getting
case.
a little carried away. Oh, okay. I could.
Yeah.
How does fish science antagonize Elizabeth? I'm a
for
scientist
you to
myself,
decide.
Elizabeth. I was doing the next great thing. Your stupid telescope here could tell us nothing about fish. I had 2 subjects. They're both deceased, but one of them had a great life while he lived.
You did use the black water on the fish, so I'll let you use that here because this is literally constructed out of the
Oh.
black water.
Okay, so 9 bonus dice. 9?
I
have
do it.
2 from Bag O Gems, 3 from nearby Elizabeth Cautioning Unit, 1 from PF Live, and 3 from Fish Science.
I'll let it
Oh
slide.
my
I'll let it
god.
slide. Go for it.
Jesus. You're gonna get 0 successes.
Woo!
Come on, baby, pull it together. 3.
It's pretty good.
Is that statistically good, or
It's
should I
still-
re-roll?
That it is statistically correct.
Well,
but
I
it
want to go
feels
above
bad.
that. I'll check a condition. I am injured because I'm walking casually around this place as it is being destroyed.
Constructed, yeah.
Okay, is it going to roll the right amount? That's 8.
Doubtful.
Almost definitely not. I only
18?
rolled 50.
That's not right at all.
That's not right at all.
So 3
Silly
more
roll
is what I
20.
need. Boop. And no, just 3.
Wow, guys,
Same
wow.
as can be.
Okay, so you only need
10.
10,
9.
9.
I don't have that many bonuses.
8.
I don't have fish bonuses. Oh my gosh. Okay.
You can use tentacle, you can use hockey stick. You have +2, Michael.
Okay, I'll use tentacle, I'll use hockey stick. Hockey stick. Mick is trying to get the gun with the wires, but I think it's not quite working. And PF Liv is like trying to kind of keep the gun away, but she still has it. So before I start running, I like grab my hockey stick and I javelin throw it at her arm. Like at her shoulder. Like I want a bigger target, and I like kind of like get her right in the shoulder, and it kind of causes her to loosen her grip, and the gun sort of clatters to the floor. Then I think I start running, but I also yell, "Michael, hit the lights!" And he like blares the room with as much light as possible, like a flare gun or like like a flare bomb or something. And I'm like shielding my eyes as I run. I grab the tentacle whip back from PF Liv because she's on our side now, and I wrap it around the horse tranquilizer, and then I sort of like leap through the last bit, and I like can't get quite far enough, but I use the tentacle whip to get the tranquilizer the last bit of the way.
Got it. While she's looking
and I'm like slow-mo. Yeah. She's like reaching for the gun, eyes blinded, and I'm like
gems being tossed.
There's a gem pelted. One gem hits me in the Birdie doesn't have great aim.
You got this.
I'm just chucking him now. I'm like, on another note, Elizabeth.
Just chucking him. Okay, so I've got move. I've got +5 from all my bonuses.
4.
That's about as good as it's gonna get.
All right, you guys made it halfway over. It's not a complete failure.
9.
God.
So you can check to get a complete. So you can check to conditions to get extra successes.
Don't we like start with the person
with
who
the
has
most conditions?
I have 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Birdie.
Okay, the teen who rolled the least amount of 6s checks her conditions first until she is broken. She takes a scar.
What if we made Lucas do it? Because we've already been broken.
But then you have to roll to see if you die.
What? No, Lucas hasn't been broken.
No, you.
Why would I?
No, it's you. You rolled the least amount of successes.
Oh, least amount of successes.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you would roll if you die.
I would roll to see if I die, yeah. We can't make Lucas do it. That's not the rules.
Rules. We never abide by
stakes. It's either the world or our lives.
No, one of our lives.
Well, you're next.
Oh, God.
And we have to check all the way up to 13.
What are we at?
We're at 9. So my 4 would be enough.
You have 4?
4 empty.
Unchecked?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought you had. Oh, because you'll check broken.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that count? No, don't you just become broken, or does it
No,
checking
it counts.
Oh, it counts.
If the teens reach if you reach the threat level this way, you'll have achieved part of their goal. Details are up to me.
I'll do it.
Do it.
What do I have to roll?
Don't you just
Sarah?
roll a d6 and
Above
it's like
a 2 or something?
To see if you live or die?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Let's just say you check and we'll figure out the living or dying after.
Okay.
Like I'll let you'll live for this scene,
Great.
to like see what happens. But tell us what you think is this, like what you think breaks you, kind of in the breaking part of the equation.
Well, I became one with the machine fetus
That did come.
previously.
That did come
So
to
I think
mind.
in the same vein, I will become one with the future seeing telescope and be bombarded with future knowledge.
Too many futures.
Yes.
Do you think something happens to you physically?
I feel like there's got to be something with your
the
crazy arm.
blackness enters me.
The blackness enters me.
Enters me.
The alien
sounds
technology,
great.
the alien consciousness.
Great. Okay. Cool. So maybe you kind of, as you're breaking stuff, and your arm has slowly been deteriorating things, but you've also been absorbing the blackness, and it has essentially reached, like you said, critical levels. So you bonded with the future, but also, the future room telescope, and you get an insight into too many futures. But also you are now like permeated with the
I think if all of the walls are black, but Lucas's brother has deactivated the blackness.
Yeah.
Whatever I'm touching, maybe the blackness of the walls starts fading, like bleaching out.
Cool. I like it. Okay, great. So you guys succeed. How did you want to? I'll say you succeed, as in the futurum telescope is no more, and as Lucas has just injected Elizabeth with the tranquilizer, she falls to the ground, and the entire castle made of black sand just kind of like dissipates and like falls into, like, dissolves into nothingness. And you're left in like a bare, empty tunnel. Like what before was a lab is now just like empty, echoing loop particle accelerator tunnel. You have a knocked out Elizabeth. You have PF Liv disappear into the night. I'll say you don't get your hands on her. She's
woman
lady. Slipperier than one of her mechanical snakes.
She's gone. Mia's there with you. And you see that you have just...
Is Michael Hephaestus still there?
Michael is still there. Yeah,
okay.
He's like, you'll see he's like this way, and he leads you, he'll lead you out of the tunnels.
Lucas picks up PF Liv as we go, and he's
Elizabeth?
Like, I mean, Elizabeth.
I know, we keep doing that.
Liv and Elizabeth is too close. That was a bad move on our part. But it's too funny. She can't be Natasha. That doesn't... Then no Natashas exist here. Elizabeth. Pick up Elizabeth. And as we're walking, I'm like, Michael, is there any way we can, like, trap her forever? Or, like, wipe her mind or something? Like, she can't... I don't want to kill her, but we can't leave her like this. You're the Hephaestum.
Yeah,
You can do
Michael.
anything.
Michael will say, "I will essentially erase her memories of her time before." So she'll remember kind of up to the Hephaestum, and then she'll essentially kind of like have no recollection of her like interplanar time. So she won't have any of that
That's good
knowledge.
enough. She'll just be a normal bad scientist. then.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll. I mean,
guess she wasn't a very good
she
scientist without the
wasn't a good
Hephaestum.
scientist without the Hephaestum or the knowledge she got like traveling between
From
planes.
yeah. Okay.
So like
okay.
she'll
So that is
just be
good.
back to being an ordinary person.
Bad
She was
scientist.
even like sort of a good boss when she worked at the astronomy tower. So she'll kind of like go back to that time period.
Okay.
But there's not enough evidence or anything to like get her locked up for
Well, it wouldn't
life.
matter.
Yeah.
I don't can't
So
live with.
he
Get her.
does, and he's like, essentially the Hephaestum looks over at you and is like, "This is the last that like I can do for you." And you see the silver come out of his hands and into Elizabeth, and it flashes. She opens her eyes really quick. The silver flashes out and disappears, and she collapses back over. And your brother says, "Wow, I guess I'm me now. Just
You're
me."
you?
I mean, I was always me. I was there too. It was like a
I know, but
Michael situation.
Where's the building?
He was like, the building, it's complicated, but it's
You're right.
basically dissolved now. It doesn't exist anymore. The Hephaestum said that it was ready to go
Go where?
to the seventh dimension.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, that
Okay,
makes sense.
well, I'm just glad you're back. Now we can go home
Me too.
and fix our family.
There's already a brother at home.
There is no brother.
Oh, we got a brother?
Yeah.
No,
You have a
we
fraternal
have a
twin.
fake brother.
His name's
He's
also
like-
Michael.
He's like, "Man, you really got up to some business while I was gone." And he like hooks an arm around your
No, me and
your
Meatball have
shoulder.
stayed in our room the entire time.
He's like, "Don't worry, I'm here, baby brother," and he gives you like a noogie. And he looks over and he's like, Mick, are you feeling okay?"
No.
No. All right. And it says scars represent trauma. After every scar you receive, after the first one, you roll one die. If the result is lower than the number of scars you have, your team is removed from play.
Okay, so
If
I
you,
just have to not roll a 1.
yeah,
Mhm.
No problem.
Or does it count the current scar?
it's
At lower than the number.
lower than the current.
So
So,
less
she
than-
has 2, so
Oh,
it needs to be 1.
has to be lower. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see.
Good thing you clarified, Sean.
You are playing it close today.
We have been rough today.
All right, how do you think that
Wow.
plays out, Mick?
I think she's got like, I don't know, just blackness hands.
Both of them now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's gonna need another glove.
Who
yeah.
are you, Sylph?
Double hands.
she wants to be self again. He who walks in darkness. 2.0.
And it's very, very tired, and trying to like force the information like amnesia barrier it away. But
Yeah.
it's not working.
Cool. Do you feel like you pass out for a minute and then come to, or what do you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Great. So you kind of swoon and come to, and everybody's looking at you from above. Are you okay? Did the crystals help?
You have like 2 cucumber-shaped crystals on your eyes.
Oh, that's nice.
But you make it through. You now have a new scar, which you can, if you want to, think about and tell us at the end. Great. Okay. You guys did it. You saved Sweden and the whole entire world. What do you do
And
now?
most of the
Wow.
third dimension.
Most of the third dimension.
I take my brother home. I drop PF Liv on the side of a road.
Elizabeth.
she's-
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, BF Liv is gone. She's
BF Liv.
scooted on out there.
My number one wanted. She's next on our list.
Okay, you drop
Before she
Elizabeth
gets-
on the side of the road and just hope she comes to and toddles over to an astronomy
Go
tower. And it's
hitchhike
fine.
somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Great. What about you, Birdie?
Oh no. I don't know. I guess I go home. I'll bring Elizabeth with me.
Okay.
Ah!
I pawn her off on you.
We're just on
Right.
Rudy. Lucas is like, we gotta stop. He dumps Elizabeth off.
And I say, wait, I forgot something.
Somehow we have a lot of people on Rudy.
Great. Rudy
Rudy
has
is struggling.
expanded.
The suspension is not happy.
We had a little bit of fertilizer left over, so we just.
We sprinkled it on Rudy.
Great. Okay. So, what do I said everybody will kind of get like an everyday scene where they can talk to one character and get a full conversation to answer any unresolved plot threads. So, in chat, if you have any questions, you can pop them in and we can see if we can answer them there. But did anybody have like a scene they wanted to do to somebody they wanted to talk to? And I
I'm
will give
gonna go-
full disclosure of everything
I'm
through
going
the
to
voice of that
have my
person.
conversation with Jared.
Yes. Okay.
Jared.
Jared knocks on your door. You go
Oh.
home.
He comes to you.
He comes to you.
Teleports even. Flies.
Yeah,
Whatever
he
he
wasn't
does.
there and then he was. You open the door and he says, Nick, I've been wanting to talk to you.
About what? I've had a long day.
Yes, exactly. I think you might be valuable to our organization.
I was just gonna come talk to you after my long day was over.
Great. Wonderful.
Okay,
He's
but
like, may I come in?
aren't you already in?
He was waiting at the door for you
Wow,
to
that's
invite
so
him.
polite.
He can't enter unless you invite him.
Are you a vampire?
He's got manners. And he's like, what would you like to know?
But yeah, before I join your organization, why are people bad on your silverness?
Well, it's not the silver that's bad. I mean, the silver is dangerous if you have it in your body for too long. But he tells you essentially that the craft decor agents were basically kids that were tested on from the super special school for super special kids. And they couldn't control their powers, so craft decor came up with the Primogenitor Project, which would help them control their powers. So they could be essentially kind of like turn their powers on when they had Primogenitor injected and turn it off when they didn't have Primogenitor injected. And Primogenitor was a bunch of nanobots, essentially. So Jared, he didn't actually have any of the silver Primogenitor. Everybody who was silver would be injected with little nanobots every time, and the nanobots would be recalled every time, and that would help be a conduit to their power. And he tells you it was all going well swimmingly until Elizabeth activated the alien particles, which did in fact come from Pegasi 51B. And his agents came in contact because the comic book was entirely true. They were indeed fighting alien. There are alien creatures in the tunnels, Mick, and we need your help to find them. And I think your newfound skills will help us with that. And you get the sense that as he's telling you about this, those black particles were corrupting the nanobots because you can corrupt metal. The nanobots were all metal, and so that consciousness of the black fluid was entering into the primogenitor and causing it to malfunction and like them all go crazy.
Well, good luck with that, because I ain't helping.
So that's Jared. That's like the down and dirty explanation, and Jared is like, and we'd really, now that you seem to have an affinity with it, we'd love getting your help. Because there's still continuously, as he's talking, you realize that yes, there has been a portal open since the 60s, and alien water has been seeping in over the years, and that's why
30 years of seeping.
Yeah, of seeping of alien water, and that is why the VAC flooded in the first part of the reason why the VAC flooded in the first place.
That's a super fun site now.
And so they have to kind of like combat anything that comes out of the portal.
Can't close the portals?
Yeah, they're working on it. That's not his department. He just fights. He just fights things. The closing of the portal, that's somebody else's job.
Okay, great, Jared. Thanks. I'll fight aliens with you, and also I'll work on prototyping a better primogenitor that's not made by those idiots in Stockholm.
Great. Oh, that's dream come true. You get however much money you want, and
drop out of high school now, girl.
Just drop out of high school now.
I will become the CEO of computers.
While you're talking, you see Emmy pop down from the bushes. She's been following Jared this whole time. She's been writing notes. So I'm sure something will appear in the curtain based off of this. But don't worry, no one will believe her anyway, so your cover won't be blown. Yeah. Any other questions for Jared? Alex is basically decommissioned.
Oh no.
He's not hurt, but he's kind of just in a coma while they figure out what to do with this corrupted primogenitor. So hopefully by you making a new one, he'll get to use that instead, and they can find a way to extract it.
Perfect.
Cool. Great. So he's like,
I would ask about Deborah, but I'll leave that for Birdie.
Deborah. Great. Who wants to go next?
You should go, Lucas, because mine is contingent on who you speak to.
I'm just going to speak to Michael.
Okay, I was going to say, I was going to transcend to the 7th dimension and talk to the Hephaestum if you were not going to talk to Michael.
I mean, I'm not going to talk to the Hephaestum. I'm just going to talk to my brother.
Michael will have all the memories of being the Hephaestum, so he can answer, like he isn't one with the Hephaestum anymore, but he can give you full Hephaestum related knowledge if you are curious about that. Okay, great. Where are you in your house having this chat?
In Michael's room. Meatball is between us.
You don't let Meatball sit on Michael's lap. A long time since he has had Meatball time.
Meatball is in between us, getting like double attention.
Okay.
Where's other Michael?
Double pets. He's been ousted.
I should have clarified which Michael are we talking to?
He's no more.
Fake Michael.
He's not.
Fake Michael's just sitting across the room.
No,
giving you guys some alone time.
He's gone. I think the psychic dissonance of seeing their actual son finally broke eudaimonia or whatever.
Yeah, sure. We'll say that.
So that is fixed, more or less. Yes. Meatball's just doing whatever Meatball wants. Traveling between laps, getting pets, sitting, purring, eating. And
what a trip, huh?
Yeah, that's putting it lightly.
I never thought I was going to be one with an alien building. That
I didn't
was
even
pretty
think
fun.
aliens exist. Are there more like it?
Hephaestus? No, it was the last one. It's actually
last
from
one
Pegasi
of all time?
51B. Yeah,
Well,
it came through that portal.
okay. Aren't bad things coming through that portal though now?
Yeah, those are all corrupted dead Hephaestus.
Does it know how to close the portal? I can pass a tip along to my contacts.
He's like, hold on, I'll have to think about it. Yeah, he's like, let me think about it. It might have had mentioned something while we were at
Okay,
one.
I guess yeah, that's not important. I don't really care about that anymore. So
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 how's hockey?
hockey's good. How's school going for you? How's college going for you?
Man, I don't even know. I feel like I could teach college now.
Oh, I guess you have the memories of a seventh dimensional being, so you don't need college anymore. What are you gonna do?
I know, but I'm still your brother. What am I gonna do? I don't know. I mean, I guess I can
you're
help
obviously gonna
people and
stay
stuff.
here.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
You better for at least a little bit before you go somewhere again. I don't know if I can let you go places. You just disappear and then you get
That was
inhabited by a seventh
one
dimensional
time.
being,
It turned
and then
out
I have to
fine.
save you from a
I
frickin'
saved you first from spiced
pinball.
rum cake.
Oh, fuck the spiced rum cake. I'm never eating spiced rum cake again.
Spiked rum cake. So I always mess it up.
Spiked rum cake. This is why I don't trust Miss Margarita and her spiked goods of various
It
kinds.
was not
That
Miss
does all make
Margarita.
sense.
Do not
I
malign
know, but
her
it's an intrinsic
reputation.
fear of alcoholic food products. Didn't? Oh yeah, he joined with the Hephaestus to save me, basically.
The Hephaestus picked me.
Well, yeah, because you're the best. But
That's not true. I never could beat Jonas at pinball. But maybe I can now.
I bet you could now. Oh, let's go to the arcade.
Yeah, so you guys are gonna go to the arcade.
Yeah.
He's gonna see Jonas, and you're gonna play.
You're just gonna
some
hang. I just want brother
pinball.
time.
Not
Not
hardcore brother time.
Don't really have questions. Most
Okay.
Wasn't Jonas the mouth guy?
Lucas is a
Yeah, the ugly.
Johan. Sorry.
Johan.
Okay,
sorry.
Too many J names. I made too many J names. Johan.
You can tell the campaign's falling apart because we're mixing up every name. That
Everyone is PF Lip.
Falling apart in a good way.
because it's coming to an end.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk to your brother about?
No. Does anyone want to channel themselves through Lucas to ask a question to a seventh dimensional being?
Or I can just answer it outside of the session.
I connect with Guru Pedal and I'm like, are there any incoming astral
Guru Pedal here.
connections?
Incoming.
Do I have any calls waiting?
There's one Hephaestus on the line.
Oh. Send them in. Patch them through.
I heard you have questions.
No.
Wait, is the Hephaestus a penguin? Penguin?
The penguin is just a random name that it came up
So
with.
yes.
How did your planet fall into ruin and you survived as the only one?
Yeah, the Hephaestus lets you know that through a visual, sending like projections of what happened to you, and it basically was
You didn't have this question
I
prepared?
didn't have this question prepared. I had some question prepared. I didn't think about where it was. Let's say that the Hephaestum was newly made. So it was not fully completed yet. It was like a very young entity. So it was like in the most secure location on the planet. So they got attacked by
Penguin.
rival penguin, and everybody got essentially kind of like corrupted and infected, and it was the safety mechanism of the area it was in kind of threw it off into a new timeline, and it avoided
Can we
getting.
return to our original timeline?
You cannot. That is a consequence of your failure. I thought about giving it to you, but then I was like, I said that, and I'm gonna have to stick to it.
Yeah.
You're here now.
Okay. Any other questions?
And you get the sense like it is when it arrived in this world and helped the prophets, it was just kind of confused and responding to like the first people that happened upon it as it
don't
came
do that
through
again.
the portal. Yeah. So it was like when Michael came around, it was like, oh, this is really like somebody that I should be bonded to and helping.
Okay. No, I'm done. Done.
Cool.
I just
Birdie,
want a normal brother.
you've got one.
3 options. I could call up Birgit.
Birgit. She has all the
knows,
answers.
She knows everything. 2, I could talk to my mom. Or 3, I could call up the president of Serbia.
Oh my gosh. Ugh.
Sunshine
We
Jackson
do
is
have a lot
Serbian,
of
so you
Serbian
could-
questions.
Who?
Yeah, should you call
who-
up Sunshine Jackson?
On her prison line?
Yeah.
Who introduced Serbia into the plot? Was that Sunshine Jackson?
It was Sarah.
Sunshine Jackson is
No,
Serbian.
it was.
But
it
the
was
Serbian
the
chess club was
teacher.
before. Yeah, it was a teacher.
I
Miss
want a
Tollefson.
parent-teacher conference with Miss Tollefson and my mom.
All right, I will say I will explain the Serbian chess club after you talk to your mom.
Okay, I'll talk to my mom then. I show
Okay.
up. I
She has
say,
intimate knowledge of Serbia.
I knock on the door. I let myself into my own house. I say, I'm back from Stockholm. I put Elizabeth on the dining room table.
What?
Your mom is there. She says, "Oh, are you? Is that a Elizabeth Sundgren?"
Don't ask.
Explain. How do you know her?
She's like, well, she's the whole reason that I couldn't be around for the last few years. I was sucked in with her traveling through the planar dimensions.
Yes, that is what I need explained. Because I remember you dying in a horse and buggy accident, and now I have been plagued by horse things for the rest of my life.
Yeah, why did you even see Sleipnir in the first place?
And then you just showed up and like sprinkled horsehair over me. Which is not something you would do if your daughter thought that you died in a horse accident. You wouldn't sprinkle remembrances of that over them while they're sleeping. So that question, mother.
Yeah, all one question. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she basically is like, when you remember me dying is not when I left. I left before then. And you get the sense that she's kind of pieced together what happened while she was gone. But she says that essentially the night that Elizabeth is escaping, there was the police raid of the Hephaestum. Michaela Tenenbaum wrote this crazy article, and the police came to arrest them and see all the evidence. Elizabeth sent herself and inadvertently Deborah into the future, because Deborah had been snooping around too, having been around her as a colleague and just knowing that she was a terrible scientist, and then all of a sudden, like, miraculously good. So she was catapulted into that future interplanar timeline, and had to essentially follow Elizabeth to make her way back from the multiple dimensions that she was on, and make her way back to this new dimension. In the meantime, what she has pieced together has been that in order to cover up for Elizabeth, PF Liv managed to essentially like fake her own death. Fake Elizabeth. PF Liv managed to fake Deborah's death with a body double stand-in. So she, and you were a little baby kid at the time,
Mhm.
and you weren't right there seeing your mom up close getting run over by a horse.
Thank goodness.
So that was something that PF Liv did just to kind of clear them of any culpability for or suspicion, and like maintain their kind of innocence in that regard.
So why am I the only one that thought you died? Everyone else thought you were just gone on vacation or something.
She's like, yeah, well, you know, you have a particularly good skill. And she's like, remember how you kind of like went to special summer camp? Like
Yes.
special summer camp for super special kids.
No.
And
It
you
was
have
just a normal special summer camp where we practiced seeing the future and levitating and talking to the dead. Normal activities.
Yeah, normal activities. And you know how you sometimes see the visions of the future, and it just, you had a special mental resilience. And so
I'm very resilient mentally, yeah, probably.
Yeah. And so you were, she's like, it's nothing that I did. It was just PF Liv managed to convince everyone, that I was still around, like I was still around, and you were the only one that believed the accident, or, really took to that.
Mm.
She's like, but we can look into it together and get to the bottom of it. I mean, I think Elizabeth's here. Where is PF Liv?
Who knows? Hopefully she found the body of Squinty and ran to him and died in a hydrogen fire.
She's like, oddly specific. But I'm glad that you okay. And she's like, we're moving on.
She has no memories of interacting with the seventh dimensional Hephaestum that lived in the body of a teenage Swede.
Sweden or
She doesn't have
great.
that anymore.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good. Yeah. So we'll do something with her, I guess, when she wakes up. The craft decor can do something. I think they have a department for that.
Why were your eyes a color? What connection do you have to Jared? Are you a alien from 51 Pegasi B?
I'm not an alien from 51 Pegasi B. My eyes would be black then. But my eyes aren't
She
silver.
said that so confidently. I don't like that.
No, so she was working with the super special kids from the super special school for special kids. And which was the feeding ground for Primogenitor. So she got essentially like an early test version of Primogenitor that was permanent. And so that is why she has permanent special eyes. And
her eyes are permanently silver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You need the briefcase to take it out.
Oh, she doesn't have a briefcase. Yeah.
So, and that's part of the reason why she was able to even like stay alive while she was following Elizabeth through this interplanar business.
Okay. I have another question. It is.
Look at that kitty cat in the back.
It is.
It
It
is.
is.
You get 5 more seconds. No.
What is the meaning of the sentence? Count the fingers of the man on the road, lest you meet a bot.
Oh, that's a good
Lest
question.
you meet a bot.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that was because of the clones that Sunshine Jackson was making.
Mm.
So if you hadn't stopped her in time, she would have made such lifelike clones that you would have it's an old kind of saying to distinguish between the fae and like a human, is that the fae will often get like one thing wrong about themselves. So in a similar way, this like old wife's kind of saying got adapted to like these clones that could have been so human like that it would be hard to distinguish them.
Okay. That checks out. That's fine. I think
Fine for
I'm
now.
satisfied.
Fine for now.
Mm-hmm. Now explain Serbia, Mother.
She's like, well, for Serbia, I'm gonna have to call somebody named Sarah, and she'll come in and explain. Serbia was just another mystery landscape mystery that I thought
I
at
mean,
one point
Serbia
we
is a
might have
mystery,
time.
that's for sure.
So the Serbian Chess Club is an additional mystery outside of the
Wow.
Prophets. Like Sunshine Jackson
Wow.
is an additional mystery outside of the Prophets.
Mm.
Serbian Chess Club is an additional mystery that you guys just never had time to activate, but I would pull back just in case we veered in that direction.
But we never practiced. So we never had our math.
You chose never to practice. So I never learned my Serbian accent, and we never learned about
God and country, go Serbia.
Which I definitely just made up on the spot. For God and country goes Serbia. So that was not in the book.
We love Forgotten Country, good Serbia.
And the Serbian Chess Club was actually good. It was not evil. I'll say that much. Yeah, but they were kind of gonna be victims of some meddling.
Who is Time Traveler Corp?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a real thing in the book. It's just a competing company to Sunshine Jackson.
They don't do any time traveling?
No.
Why was there a squid that was killing children off of
It was killing children to discredit Sunshine Jackson so that Viking land would be shut down before it ever began.
Okay.
That was pure book.
Oh, this is a good one. Whatever became of the Promised Land Motorcycle Club gang?
The Wild Ride?
Yeah.
I think they're living their best motorcycle gang life. I think that they are harboring more AI robot fugitives daily. And they go on nightly rides because they can't during the day because not all of the robots look convincing. And I think Kraka is now like captain of the Wild Ride.
Oh my god, amazing.
Good for Kraka.
Kraka has developed a fully autonomous identity. She no longer forgets the last 5 minutes when bananagrams is said. She's
can't just
fixed
overcome
that bug.
She's had help from other robots. They fixed her up.
Also, it's helpful that not many people say bananagrams all that often.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions? That's it?
We had chat questions. How much did you have planned from the beginning, and what was your inspiration for the story? Which, I mean, is like, you can take that. Some of it's from the book, but...
Yeah, I would say this is gonna be hard to just. I would say most of the Prophet stuff is all from the book, and Sunshine Jackson is all from the book. Most of stuff I changed was either if the players wanted to go somewhere and do something totally different. The book is pretty prescriptive about what roles you should or should not do, and I just don't make them do that. It's not worth it. So, like I made up Yarnik and Sons because I think you guys wanted to go to Stockholm.
Jaeger and Sons.
Jaeger and Sons, Yarnik and Sons.
All
See?
the names are too similar.
So yeah, I made up the name Jaeger and Sons on the spot, and then I would go back and make up.
Jaeger
Like
and
I
Sons
made
is
up.
so good.
I made up Jaeger and Sons, and I made up all the chips and Primogenitor and Hive 2.0 and Eudaimonia. That was stuff that I made up.
Wait, so the aliens were in the book?
The aliens, yes.
There was just no one combating them?
Aliens are in the book.
There is literally a comic book about people combating aliens, and I had no idea. I hadn't read that part yet, and I just happened to have made Crafticore agents, and I was like, perfect. This is great. I'm in the lore. Yeah, so you get to choose ultimate truths. So they give you multiple ultimate truths about the water and the flood. So one was alien portal, one was like it's all an illusion. And you've just been like here actually I can probably read. I think I can find that quickly.
That's crazy. Tales was not like that.
Yeah, it's much more complicated than Tales narratively, I would say. Like there was much more to like parse through and much more descriptives. Let me see if I can find where that was quickly. What's going on? Here you go. What's going on in the VAC? You had like 5 options. It's all true. Scientists have actually opened a dimensional rift to the distant planet 51 Pegasi B, flooded the loop tunnels with extraterrestrial water, and filling the back with monsters. Crafticore flooded the tunnels to displace population of the northern Black Lake lands in order to hide their illegal bioexperiments involving both humans and animals. Tunnels were flooded to keep the gravitron from exploding. Only craft staff are aware of the state of the facility. It can explode at any moment was an option. Or none of it's true. The flooding was an accident. And the runaway robots are a side effect of the new wax, yada yada. And then there's another multi-dimensional option. Yeah, so I would say the biggest thing I probably changed in this whole campaign is that a lot of this stuff was like more horror based. So like there was a whole kind of theme of like machine cancer where like machines would start getting tumors and rotting and all kind of like gore horror, and I was like, I don't really want to do that. So a lot of the stuff was me trying to come up with a similar kind of thing but not gore. So like the ugliness was a little bit darker, and the end campaign also was a little bit darker. So yeah, that's also a little bit of me kind of patching together narrative there. Just because I was like, I don't really want everyone to be bleed. I don't want like the machine cancer. Like the idea was that like computers would develop pustules and be bleeding, and
That's
everything.
I don't like that either.
Yeah, it's like your coffee tin made of plastic would bleed, and I was like, I don't want to live in that world. So I got rid of that and kind of went with the alien particle degrading metal kind of timeline. Is there any other questions?
Does fake Michael live in Birdie's basement now?
He's the assistant. He's the research assistant. I don't know. Birdie, you tell us. What does fake Michael do?
I think I said this. I think fake Michael
Just-
is the basement. There always has to be one brother who is a building.
There has to be one.
So now you have a second basement that is your other brother.
Wow,
I
2-story
see.
basement.
A
We lock
two-story
that door and we
basement.
never enter.
A 2-story base. It was 2 stories the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, great. I love that.
2 stories the whole time.
Yeah. I feel like, was there anything else that I missed? The visions of Sleipnir, that I really didn't think through. I was just doing for fun. I really was just like,
Are you telling me the horsehair bracelet didn't have a strong plot line?
No,
It
no.
was
I
just
wanted.
trolling.
At one point, it was trolling, and then I was like, well, it could be. I wanted it to be like I came about because of Viking Land, and I wanted
Mhm.
you to have like a vision of Viking Land, and it be Viking related. And then I was like, oh, maybe it's kind of tied to your mom, and you're getting like a sense of her, like getting closer to you in time space.
Mhm.
And then I was like, oh, perfect. It's almost a vision of Squintar, Bessie the Squintar. And you're just seeing into the future. And then I was like, I'm not going to try and make it mean anything. It was just a one time. It was a fun idea that I never tied up. So mysteries. You tell me in the chat why you think a horsehair bracelet appeared on Birdie's hand.
Didn't we get a message in the lights that was
Yeah,
help us?
Yeah.
We
You
can't
did.
escape. Help us from it. Was that the kids?
That was the kids.
Okay.
That was the kids.
They
while
don't exist in any timeline
They,
now.
they've been permanently erased.
except for the two that are in love
Except
in a
for
tunnel.
one.
The
One
one
made
who
it to a
made
hospital.
the one who
Meta.
arrived first. Yeah, Meta. She has no memory of ever being taken. That like history was
Mhm.
dissolved. But yeah, I would say all in all, this is like a very much more complicated just like plot options,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
compared to Tales from the Loop. Still really fun, but like a lot of information to keep track
Yeah.
of. And I didn't even tell you like there was like places in China that are living in aquariums and you know, AI robots.
What?
Oh yeah. Let's see. Here you go. It's all about the water and the flood. Okay. So many believers have hoard water. In the city of Guiguang, China, about 100 people barricade themselves inside an enormous aquarium, and the authorities say that they have been brainwashed by their leader. And after 120 days of isolation, they, you know, are forcefully taken out of the aquarium that they put themselves in. So there's like really detailed things going on across the world. And there's a whole Russian AI program.
There were Russian
storyline.
spies.
There were
What's
Russian spies.
John Liedman, chemical CEO.
Chemical CEO. There you go. And yeah, the penguin threat that was literally written in, and I could not believe my luck when I also just was like, "Oh my god, great!" What is a penguin? It doesn't tell me. I don't know.
I think we all know what a penguin is.
I think
Yeah.
a penguin is one blob of blackness.
Mm.
Sentient.
One Gwyn of Pin.
Yeah,
one pin of
time
Gwyn.
traveler core. It really served no other purpose than to be
Then to attack Bertha, the local 4-year-old.
traumatic for Bertha, the local 4-year-old.
It
Yeah.
succeeded.
Yeah, and so Serbia, I think in the mystery landscape, I didn't read all of the mystery landscape, but I do. They were all kind of connected to each other, so I wouldn't be surprised if elements of like the Serbian chess club and like Sunshine Jackson also being Serbian. I'm sure they had a reason for that. I just didn't read all of the mystery landscape to know, but there was at least 3 other mysteries in there that you could have done. So yeah, there you go. I'm trying to see if there's any good art to show you.
Oh yeah, that's
There's
always
so much
fun.
good art.
Some good art. I'll show you what
Scary
the make.
robots.
Here's the machine. This is why we didn't do machine cancer.
Oh, ew, yucky.
It's gross.
It's organic cancer.
Yeah, it's organic. And I was like, I can't do that. Connor was excited, I think. I might have mentioned it to him. So yeah, what are we doing next week, guys?
I don't know
Maybe
about
next week. But the week after that, we're gonna do a little Donna Worlds campaign. Just a short little thing.
3 session,
3
hopefully.
sessions, yeah. We did it
Quick.
last time. We had fun. Sarah will be leaving us.
Not
Temporarily.
forever.
She's gonna go have an ice bath in Europe. And while she's gone, we're gonna play this game. We're gonna try and include her in the most chaotic way possible. So we're looking forward to that. And then what are we doing after that, Abby?
I'm going to run a short 5e Humble Wood campaign. So everyone's going to play cute wood animals. And it'll
Cute
be
little
like
wood
levels
animals.
1 to 5-ish. So not super intense. But Sarah's first experience with 5e, which will be fun.
They're like, we're gonna ease her into this.
I already have my character. He's my favorite thing that I've ever come up with in my life.
Is it? Oh, don't
I'm
tell me.
so
I want to be
concerned.
surprised.
I
So scared.
sat in my apartment alone for 30 minutes the other day.
Did you cackle to
practicing
yourself at night?
practicing
my God.
the accent.
Oh my gosh.
I am so ready.
Wow.
So expectations high. So that'll be in a month. You can tune in and see
Yeah,
how we
and
do.
we'll do a session 0 and like talk about characters and stuff together, which will be a good
Yeah,
time.
that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. Living my Brian Jakes dreams. Getting to
Yeah.
be a little
Mhm.
woodland adventurer.
You can be an actual mouse with a
I can
sword.
be an actual mouse with a sword. Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for hanging around. I know it got crazy at the end with things from the flood,
But
but
just at the end. Everything else,
It's very normal
Everything
all the
else
way
was
up to the
just
end.
a casual experience,
Very
really.
normal.
so
Wasn't traumatized.
normal
By a machine
at
fetus
all. At all.
for the very first thing.
You weren't traumatized by Miss Margarita.
I was traumatized by Miss Margaret. I was traumatized by a spiked rum cake, actually. And I've
That
had
Which
was-
we
for the
didn't
rest of my life.
discover for, 3/4 of the campaign.
But I knew, deep in my heart,
You did. You had psychic foresight. You were like,
did I
alcoholic
a little bit of Birdie rubbed off on me.
desserts,
You did have psychic
danger.
foresight. No, thanks for running it, Sarah. It was very fun.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. And I won't see you for a little while, but I'll be here in spirit.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye!